If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by the White House Briefing Room podcast with John Decker.
I'm John Decker. Join me weekdays for 15 minutes of no-spin White House coverage straight from the press briefing room. Subscribe now to the White House Briefing Room on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Hey, Russ Rollins here. It's a new year, and you're motivated, right? Motivated to get in shape, motivated to do better. Do this. Get that heart scan we've been talking about. It's a free heart scan. You just give them a call. A few minimum requirements, but it's something that you can do and find out how your heart is. Now, if it's all good, you have peace of mind. That's awesome news. If you have blockage, you can have it taken care of, and so many of our listeners have gone and found out they had blockage, and it saved their lives. Take care of it now. Give them a call. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Life Imaging FLA. They're great partners of ours. I send people there also to get cancer screening. My sister went, and when she went, it was stage 4 cancer, and it was too late. We want to send people and catch cancer early and help save lives. It's Life Imaging FLA. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Make sure you tell them that Russ Rollins and the Monster sent you.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Wondering if dangerous contaminants are in your home's water? Get Leaf Home Water Solutions today. We can't live without water, but we can take actions today to make it safer and healthier. Leaf Home Water Solutions is offering a free in-home water test. Just visit leafhome.com/free to schedule yours. With results from their advanced digital testing, Leaf Home Water Solutions can design a whole home system and expertly install it in as little as 1 day. With Leaf Home Water Solutions, you can feel confident that each drop of water from every tap and appliance is cleaner and safer for you and your family. We can't live without water, but we can take actions today to make our family's water safer with Leaf Home Water Solutions. Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
I'm Jeff. I got a call that my wife Katie was in a bad car accident and was airlifted to Shands Hospital. When I got there, she was in surgery for a brain injury. She's had a long recovery. We needed an attorney. Our close friends recommended Glenn Klausman. Glenn Klausman was available 24/7 to help. We've been blessed by my wife's recovery. The results from Glenn Klausman's efforts were way more than expected. He's more than an attorney for us. He's a friend. Call him at 407-917-1718, KLAUSMAN law.com, office Winter Park.
Kim here from Renewal by Anderson. Ready to kick off the new year with comfort and savings? License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here. I think we can all agree that plumbing issues are the worst, and it's always great to have a seasoned professional ready to go if you happen to run into those problems. Enter Modern Plumbing Industries. From houses to high-rises, these guys are Central Florida's plumbing company. Employee-owned and in business since 1975. Their integrity and workmanship are second to none, and they have some great deals as well. If you mention the Jim Colbert Show, you'll receive $50 off your service call. Book your appointment today at 407-327-6000 or hop online at modernpi.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Friend. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. Lots to get to today, from the Ilhan Omar mystery attack to how one man is paying every single U.S. Olympic athlete, and updates on the teacher under fire for a two-word post, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane. What's happening? And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your messages rolling right to the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday?
Not bad. Pretty good. Yeah. A little chilly, but
little frosty. Yeah, a little frosty out there. Good, goodish. Lots of stuff happening in the world today. A lot of interesting things for us to digest here on the show. You can watch everything, as I said, right off the jump on YouTube or Twitch. And I'd really encourage you, if you've never done before, please take a second today just to peek in, take a look at what's going on, and see what you think about the experience. YouTube.com/thenewsjunkie. All right, here we go. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to an Iowa Target store. That's right. Why? I don't know, but
I'm also curious.
That's where there's an old man talking to MSNBC for some reason. I'm sorry. They have rebranded to MS Now. They are not MSNBC anymore.
Wow. Strike one.
Man. I forgot.
You're stuck in now. MS then.
That's going to be hard to get used to. They were one thing for so long. This is like the Sears Tower all over again here. MS Now, formerly MSNBC. They're at a Target for some reason, and in the parking lot of a Target, they encounter a guy who doesn't agree with them, and they videotaped or like broadcast his opinion. And my favorite thing about this was not sort of the dichotomy of what's happening underneath the surface of American society right now. We've explored that enough, I think. But I did like the word that he used, because I like weird old man insults.
Whippersnapper.
Here we go.
You make of what's happening in Minnesota. Just let them be there and do their job. Period. Leave ICE alone. Getting in front of people's faces and doing this to ICE is total horse hockey, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump is doing what the people elected him to do. Get rid of the illegal immigration.
There he goes. This is horse hockey, which we can add to our bull hockey some other guy said on the show one time. Poppycock, too. I forgot about Poppycock.
And what was he again?
He was when we were doing the DNA test for the dude's dad.
That's right.
This is deep lore, folks. All right, listen up.
We had years and years ago, pre-COVID, old studio. We had the guy in that was looking for his dad, and then there was a family member that he thought was his dad, or maybe raised him, but they knew what, like, it was a foster dad, and
something
then
along those lines.
They were not quite friendly, especially when we talked to the man on the air, and he used words like
bull hockey
or
poppycock. Poppycock.
And then what did this guy say? This guy didn't say bull hockey. Did he say
horse hockey?
Oh, okay.
You make of what's happening in Minnesota. Just let them be there and do their job. Period. Leave ICE alone. Getting in front of people's faces and doing this to ICE is total horse hockey, in my opinion.
Total horse hockey, in my opinion. Is question out there to you folks today. Is horse hockey and bull hockey, is this a regional thing? Is there like a section of the United States, Iowa perhaps, where they say horse hockey and bull hockey? I did not grow up with that myself.
I only know it because of that man we spoke to pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But second follow-up, nothing to do with your asking. Can someone do an AI of horses and bulls playing hockey against each other?
It's got to be out there somewhere.
I mean, I think the winner of that particular hockey game gets the term. You know, if the Bulls win, we get bull hockey. If the horses win, it's horse hockey, and then we retire the other one.
I mean, is there any way the Bulls are not going to win?
They're slower.
Yeah, but horses have thinner legs, which I don't think on the ice.
Sean,
would be
I think they're all
nearly
going to
as
have
good.
a little bit of trouble on the ice. Of
course they
Let's
are.
play some bets. Who's going to win?
Of course, the horses playing ice hockey and the Bulls playing ice hockey are all going to have problems. But I'm saying
Unless
the
we're doing
Bulls
street
have
hockey,
a better chance.
We're doing street hockey, and then it could be a bloodbath.
Could be. All right. It's all horse hockey and bull hockey, according to this guy. Let us know what you think today. Many, many things to talk about.
Poppycock.
We'll get into some of the more controversial things here and there. I do want to talk about, I think the most interesting thing of the day was this speech that was going on, and some guy tried to attack the politician, and he had a syringe. And I don't think they even know yet what was in it, but I'll give you the whole rundown. We'll give you the whole investigation.
But where did the lighter fluid come from, Michael?
It's a very, very weird one. It's a very, very weird one. So I want to go deep into what's happening there. I also liked this, thought it was a solid take in a world of bad ones these days. But this person, Swan Marcus, says on Twitter, the problem with U.S. politics is that the median position is we should deport illegals but not be fascist. And the two immigration positions we get to vote for are not letting foreign criminals live here as fascists and let far-right thugs murder people, LOL, which I think kind of grasps just like the people who are arguing about this versus the normal people who end up, in the middle of all of this over and over and over again. We'll get into some of that, but first I want to explore something that is just jaw-dropping to me right now. This morning.
Whoa. Wow.
They're now seeing the graphic here. You can watch on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. This morning, when we woke up, it was colder at our broadcast HQ in Orlando, Florida, than it was in Juneau, Alaska.
That's bonkers.
I don't know what to make of that.
Neither do I. And
I don't know how often that happens.
And this is just the calm before. This weekend,
it's going to be colder.
We will be colder, right? Colder, even more significantly than what we're looking at now than Alaska, right?
Oh, yeah. We're going to get down here to the temps that a lot of other people have been seeing the whole time. Somewhere in the 20s, somewhere a bit further down. But it was colder this morning in Orlando, Florida, than it was in Juneau, Alaska, which has got to be a fairly rare thing, I think.
It's fascinating on paper, but I imagine if you had walked outside at that time in Orlando,
hell no,
32 degrees, and then teleported over to Juneau, Alaska.
Okay.
Do you not think you would still feel colder in Alaska? There's different conditions there.
I think colder in Florida because it's that humidity cold. It stings. It feels different.
I feel like it's windier in Alaska. There's probably snow up there.
It's like this morning, I kick open the door, beautiful day in the neighborhood, throw open the door to the world. That wind.
And then you shut the door to the world.
Rushing in, and I go,
world.
Terrible day in the neighborhood. Just anti Mr. Rogers, as per usual. I am the anti Mr. Rogers. I have not been called that, but
not in a while.
Maybe I was at some point in time. Anti Mr. Rogers song was what I was singing early this morning as that 32-degree air kicked in. Again, sorry, my gravest and most sincere sorry and apology to everybody who's actually cold this morning. But I did see that, and I thought it was interesting. And I thought maybe if there was like a northern version, like a winter version of Sea Lane, he would be doing this. This would be you. You would be Tom Maloney. Tom Maloney posted this, and he's got snow all over his property. He's got a beautiful house here.
Pretty
and
thick.
Snow.
Look at his light post.
Yeah, it's blanketed. Like, it's really, really thick in snow. And he wanted to take care of this. And look, I'm not a northern boy.
How big is his property? Because we're looking at his house from pretty far away. If this is his own camera, then he's got like a whole network of stuff going on.
At front,
yeah, and he used a time lapse camera because
okay, he set this up.
I've not done this before, but, when you wake up each morning, like many of you do, maybe many of you even did this morning, shoveling a bunch of snow out of the way. It's a nightmare. It's one of those things, from what I hear, that you start it and you don't realize how fast it will creep up on your arms because of the muscles that you use for shoveling
you
snow.
gotta hold on. I'm gonna find you this video. You got to see the guy,
exactly
the guy on Barstool.
Mm-hmm.
No,
this guy had a tool that just made easy work of the snow. I'm gonna find it while you play this.
Send me that. But if there was a northern version of Sea Lane, you would have this. Here he goes. It's a robot that plows the snow.
Oh, hell yes.
The
it's
Roomba
like a
of the snow?
Snow Roomba. It's a snow Roomba.
Snoomba.
It's a Snoomba out there, and it clears off the snow on this guy's property. There's nobody running it. There's no person at all.
But it was almost done, and then it just was covered again in snow.
It's true, yeah.
Watch this next loop. So he's almost done, and as he's doing that last circle around, because he starts in the middle and expands, the middle is now covered again in all this.
Yeah. He has to keep going forever, because as soon as it gets nice and clear, the snow just falls right back down and covers it again. So, man, that's the battle you have to face out there. It's like getting water out of the boat.
Salt. I thought salt was a thing.
Salt makes it so I think that you're less slippery, right? Or less likely to form ice, I think.
No, I think, I thought salt was supposed to, salt raises lowers the freezing temperature of water, so that the instead of being frozen, the water will be more liquid, thus letting it go away.
Oh my God! For Northerners, this is like hearing me talk about sports. I know it is. And again, apologies.
Check your Gmail for this the video that I just sent you. Now, I'm curious about this guy's snow robot, because is it like a Roomba in the sense that it's just doing this all automatically, or is he controlling it, from the warmth of his house, watching this all happen? This guy actually had to go outside and be in the snow as he does this. But this tool that he's got, it looks like fun for the first time.
The hero the cul-de-sac deserves, a silent guardian, a watchful protector, and it's a dude out in his driveway using a snow remover. This is like it looks like from the handle on, it looks like a weed whacker, but at the end of the weed whacker, there's a very large spinning snow thing.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
That looks like
fun.
It's so oddly satisfying.
That's what I'm saying. Satisfying was the word I couldn't think of, because it reminds me of those video games that people will play where they're just pressure washing fences, and you're like, oh gosh, I love doing this so much. You just see all the dirt go away,
Somebody said it's called a Yarbo.
I just sent you the link in our chat.
Yeah.
And if this is the same one, the Yarbo snow blower, 24/7 autonomous 2-stage robotic snowblower, cordless with modular design.
Damn.
It's just a cool how much money.
If that's what he was using, then that's a much bigger yard than we thought it was, because that thing looks pretty big.
When you talk about prices, the prices that I see are per year. Oh no, this is comparing how much you would pay to have some dodo come out and snow blow your yard or whatever.
That looks cool.
Yeah. I mean, I just all of you northern folks hold tight, because I'm just not familiar with this. My only experience with even the phrase snowblower was your mother was a snowblower, which I'm pretty sure came from Johnny Five on Short Circuit, but that's about as close as I came to anything in that world, despite being born in Vermont and living in Chicago for 6 years.
There was a Julia Roberts movie that mentioned snowblowing. I can't believe you didn't connect that.
Not yet. Not yet. We'll see. All right, so there you go. Northerners weigh in. Let us know what you think about all of this. We'll take the shots if need be. I've got some more stories about just how cold it is out there. Got some emails coming in hot. I like that. And then we're going to do an investigation. I've got the full rundown of what happened with this politician. She's given a speech.
Can't wait for this rundown.
This guy was in the front row. He's just sitting there. And then he gets up and goes to attack her and squirts a syringe on her. there's a lot of information to parse here, and it's all very, very interesting. So we'll go over that as well. Busy show today. Don't miss a moment. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Robots don't get hungover. That's why they can't work here. Real Radio 104.1, guaranteed human.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Down through that World Drive area in between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road. No serious
hello.
Your commute. But if you do see traffic
trouble, behind the scenes of the show.
Instant oil change.
Creamy.
676-8477.
Creamy.
Traffic Center in James, Birmingham.
Son of a bitch.
Is sponsored by
Sleeping on the job is a fireable offense. A fireable offense.
It's time to get super sure.
Unbelievable.
Not kind of sure, not pretty sure, not
unbelievable.
Sure, super sure. The seismic shift.
Folks, Mega Chat's back.
Super sure. Coming soon.
Mega Chat is back. It's back. You guys want to help me with something? Chat, I need your help. I need everybody on board. I need you all at your keyboards. Okay? Hello to everybody. Hey. Hello to everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. I need your help with something. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make a video for a story on Instagram and Facebook. And I want to show people Mega Chat moving along. So I need all of you to post feverishly. All right? I'm going to count down from 10, and I want to see you blow up Mega Chat like we've never seen before, so that when I show it in my story, it'll look epic. Right? That's what I think is going to be the key thing here. We've got a couple of minutes before we come back live on the show. So why not do this? So get ready, get by the keyboard. Whatever you post will end up on this particular story. So ready? 10 seconds. 10 seconds. And we're going to hit Mega Chat as hard as we can and get those messages going. Right? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And you got to keep them going. 3, 2, 1. Go. All right? Fast. Fast. Move. Mega Chat. Move. Move. Get it moving. Get it moving. Here we are in the studio during a break. Let me bring you over to, here's how it all works. This is how everything goes here in the studio. You see the fine folks chatting here with us live. You can see the monitors right here on the desk. That's how I can see everything that's happening and keep an eye on all of the different feeds in there. These are the folks who hang out with us each and every day in chat. Say hi, chatters. There they are. Hi, chatters. All right, see you soon. Excellent work, everybody. I have no idea what you typed, but excellent work. Excellent work. We're back in 2 minutes. Whoops. Feverish post high. Some of those made it on. I saw some weird ones in there. I'll have to edit it to cut out like 1 second during the break, but then I'll get it in there. 90 seconds and we're coming back live. And we're going to go through the Ilhan Omar weirdo. This attacker guy, the syringe, what was in the syringe? How did this guy get there? How is he sitting front row at her press conference and all of the reactions? So we got some good, juicy stuff there. We're eating good today, as they say, junkies. We're eating good, junkies. Kush, what is that, your Bitcoin hash? What are we looking at here? Is that your Bitcoin hash? All right, let's fire it up, baby.
It may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
Couple of things to get to, and then we do the rundown on the Ilhan Omar thing.
Use the symptom checker on Identify EPI
Okay, here we go. Oh, copyright. Mega Chat is back, baby. It's back. All right. Come on. Come on.
Lannis, Pearl Jam, Weezer, No Doubt, and more. With Commercial Free Weekend. Your favorite era? Just a tap away. Open the free iHeartRadio app and listen now.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Friend. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Where common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the news.
So good to see you. So good to be with you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome into the world's most viral newsroom. Learn more about the program, live stream, podcast, radio show on this station over at thenewsjunkie.com. We got a rundown for you. It's time for the rundown on what happened yesterday, I believe, with this politician out of Minneapolis, Ilhan Omar is her name. And she was doing like some kind of town hall type thing. It looked like she was at like a little podium. She had, a microphone talking to this crowd of people.
It wasn't a lot of people either.
It was pretty. It was a pretty small crowd considering what happened, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if she was under the impression that all these people were like really big supporters of her or what. And I got all the angles on this. That's why they call it a rundown. I mean, we've called it a rundown for years on the show. Right. Nobody else in the business calls it a rundown, but it's a rundown over here. So Ilhan Omar is in front of these people. She's giving this speech. Here's one of the angles of this. She is speaking to this crowd of folks, and some dude stands up and approaches her. And then as he gets close to her, he pulls out a syringe. We'll talk about the syringe in a little bit. And then he appears to squirt some kind of fluid on her. And then we'll talk about what happened after that. So here we go. All right, this is her. Hang on, I got it muted. Quickly tackled.
And she wanted to go punch him in the face or something.
Quickly tackled and pulled off to the side. So let's tackle this a few things at a time. First, she's speaking.
Or face impeachment.
All right, she's talking about, I think, about Kristi Noem or something. Somebody must resign or face impeachment. All right. Then the guy jumps up. I can't make out at all what he's saying. I'm going to pump this. Everybody listen closely and see if you can make out anything. I'll shut up. Here we go. No idea, right?
Mandani?
I'll do it one more time. Actually, I'll boost it even more for everybody.
Enhance.
I'm gonna enhance this as much as I can. It's gonna be a little loud, maybe for some of you.
Enhance for the rundown.
Listen in.
No clue.
No idea.
Nothing
I have no clue what he said. No, Mandani and then something else. And he quickly gets tackled by security. Shouts out to security. Homeboy jumped up, and it wasn't but 3 seconds until big boy security guy grabbed his ass. And then, to her credit, the politician Ilhan Omar, she went like for him.
She was like, "Let's go, let's go, dude."
She made a move like, hang on. So he gets up, and she reacts very quickly by pulling back. Like, what's happening here? I mean, who knows? Was this going to shoot me or what?
And and at that point, he's already sprayed her?
Yeah. You see the liquid before
you
see the guy in this angle.
Yeah, right there. Here's the liquid. And
powerful.
What we're looking at right here is a very strong stream of liquid that did indeed hit her outfit. So she got hit with whatever this was, and I've got info about it. A strong stream, like a super soaker, hits her outfit. Then he comes kind of tumbling up, and he's got his hat in his hand, and he goes to say something to her. she starts going forward. And even
Bear
in
hug
another
from
angle, I can
behind.
see she's right here. She's putting her fist up. she's
Let's go.
she's
You want to score,
"Ah."
baby?
And the bodyguard security grabs this guy and tosses him out of there very quickly. Let's see this from another angle here. This is the same incident from just a different angle.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign
I thought so.
or
There you
face impeachment.
Okay, resign.
He said, "You must resign."
Did he?
Yeah.
I'll get this again. I'll pump the volume up. I'll enhance.
Also, this angle and the reaction from the people are also different.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah,
lady
look
all
at
the
it.
way to the right, if you're looking at it, is like, the hell just happened? While all the way to the left is a guy not knowing what just happened. Just maybe he was looking down on his phone when all that went down.
I mean, I think for a second they were like, what's this guy doing? And then your brain pretty quickly goes to, oh, this is something bad. Like, obviously, we've seen people get killed. We've seen people get attacked. We've seen various things like this happen, especially to politicians, because all the rhetoric is so heated and people are so, pumped up about things. And I'll give you a story about that. I'll give you a story about that in just a bit on the show. But the people started reacting.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
I can't get any of what
You
this
must
guy
resign,
said.
is what I'm hearing.
I couldn't hear anything clear enough to say what it was. He just said something and he sprayed the thing and then ran to the side of it. And a lot of woes.
I don't know. Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
He sprayed something on her. You heard that lady say. He sprayed something on her, which he indeed did. So now here's a snapshot of this guy. He's got the syringe in his hand. When I say syringe, don't think that there's a needle on it. I'm talking about the plastic part.
The plunger part.
Yeah, the plunger part of a syringe. No needle, but a plastic thing loaded up that he must have had in his jacket because obviously, it's cold and stuff. And he's wearing the jacket in there. And the security grabs him as he's still got this in his hand. And they got a couple of interesting snapshots of this. This is afterwards what they obtained from this guy. And it looks to be I don't know if I would say brownish fluid that is in here.
It said he sprayed her shirt with a substance that smelled strongly of vinegar.
Yep. Yeah. There's a couple reports saying it there had a vinegar-like odor to it. And it's like a brownish. I mean, if that's urine, he's got major health issues. Yeah, it's got some problems. It's very dark to be urine, but it could be urine. It's some sort of fluid inside this thing. This is exactly what she was hit with during the presser that we're looking at here now on the stream. And I think the thing was, before this, let's show this to the folks real quick, Celine. I think it was completely full, and he shot that big spray, and then this was still what was left when they apprehended the person
what that was.
Who shot this at her.
I imagine she went right to the hospital.
Then we know some additional details. The guy who did this is allegedly a person named Anthony Kazmierzak, is what I think his name is. Anthony Kazmierzak, Kazmierzak. Anthony Kazmierzak. And this story says a neighbor of the suspect in the Ilhan Omar attack says he was medicated from a previous accident. He says he sent cryptic messages before the incident, according to the New York Post. Anthony Kazmierzak's neighbor, Brian Kelly, says Kazmierzak asked him if he could watch his dog while he went to the Ilhan and Omar event. He says, I'm going to this Omar thing. And the neighbor goes, I'm like, Omar what? And he said, this town hall thing. And then he said, I might get arrested. And the neighbor said, I figured it was nonsense. He wasn't going to do anything stupid. I said, sure, I'll walk her. But then the next day he said, don't worry about it. I've got it covered. And I figured he blew that off. According to the neighbor, Kazmierzak was heavily medicated from a car crash where he injured his spine years ago. And they said he's also been diagnosed with Parkinson's and he's only 55. Now, some of this is not confirmed. This is the neighbor's conversations with him. And what the neighbor is saying that this particular guy said. But clearly he's out of his gourd and he is in the audience. And I mean, I don't know what the security was like. And you might say, oh, big deal, Sean. He didn't have a gun. He didn't have a knife. You don't know what.
Could have been acid.
It could have been anything. It could have been some sort of poison that killed him just as fast as anything, or killed her just as fast as anything else.
Some of the worst attacks we've heard of, that there's been like Dateline, pieces about and documentaries have been like, who was the guy? I think it was in New York, that either it was his ex-girlfriend or something, or maybe his ex-girlfriend's new lover. Somebody got attacked with like a styrofoam coffee cup full of some really bad acid, and it left like terrible lifelong scars for this person, and they're just horrific. It could have been that.
So my point is, I wonder how that person got into this event. Maybe there wasn't any security. That seems odd. Especially with detentions.
That giant guy was security, but they weren't checking pockets.
Hold on, let me clarify. Obviously there was somebody posing as security at the event. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they were like scanning people for weapons or to see if they had anything.
Yeah, it might have been
this.
as little as just, like barrier to entry metal detector kind of security, if there was, or wanding people. And a lot of times that's just for metal too. But if you think about going into places like, for example, we just applied for a passport for my son. And so that, Ashley
He's already headed out of here, huh?
Ashley had to take him to the courthouse. She had to do it twice because she didn't have my sign off on it the first time. She's not allowed to just, kidnap the boy and take him to Mexico.
Look at the power you have.
I know, yeah. So, but she told me that when they went through the courthouse has their own little like TSA style way of checking all your bags. And, I'm sure some of the officers are better than others, but when you go in there with a beverage, my kid had his juice. She might have had some sort of coffee or something. They make you sip it. When you go in. Yes, when you go through that sort of security, at least at our courthouse.
What if you're willing to sip urine?
Then I think urine is not what they're concerned with. I think they're concerned with stuff that you aren't willing to sip, like some sort of poison or some sort of,
curdled milk.
No, more like very flammable liquid, stuff like that. So but I experienced the same thing. They let you go on a lunch break for jury duty if you bring like a to-go drink back with you. You're like, can I have this? They're like, yeah, you just need to take a sip of it. We need to see you, and you can go through.
Right. We'll get back to the rundown in a second. A lot of people responded to this. Diana on
sorry,
YouTube
I didn't mean to distract from the rundown.
Diana says, sorry, I got triggered when they are giving Parkinson's as an excuse. These people are freaking losers. I don't know who you mean by these people. I'm not sure who you're talking about there. But that's an interesting tidbit in the story so far, which is why I mentioned it. The neighbor is saying that this guy was heavily medicated, that he had some issues with his health from a car accident, and that perhaps he had something like Parkinson's, or maybe he's, maybe this is just what he's been told. But that's an interesting piece of the puzzle here as we look at a case like this, because you wonder immediately, is this guy pissed off about the stuff happening in Minnesota with ICE? Is this guy going after her for political reasons from one side or the other? Probably you would think just naturally from the right. Or is this just like a demented individual? Those things are all very important questions when you're tackling a viral story like this as it's happening.
If he's not a demented individual, then you would think, based on his comments telling her she needs to resign, that he's on the side of the Kristi Noem and the people that are pro ICE.
Yeah, his Facebook said a lot. At least what New York Post is picking up.
Well, we'll get into that in a second, but here's the story from CBS Austin. It says, man tackled and removed after spraying unknown substance on Representative Ilhan Omar at a town hall. A man in a black jacket was tackled to the ground and escorted out of the building by security after spraying an unknown substance on her at the town hall she was hosting on Tuesday. It was yesterday. Here's the reality that people like this ugly man don't understand. She's calling me ugly man. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw at us. The audience cheered as he was pinned down and his arms were tied behind his back. And the event, you could hear people saying, oh my God, he sprayed something on her. The man was arrested and booked on a charge of assault in the 3rd degree. It's not immediately clear what substance it was. She continued with her town hall, which pretty based, honestly. I don't agree with much of what she says. Ilhan Omar is pretty far out there on the left, but I don't agree with much of what she said. But she kept going with her entire speech.
Yeah.
I think she talked for 20 minutes afterwards.
She's like, "Don't let him take the show. Don't let him make. I forget the exact words, but she refused. Even the security guard.
She said she doesn't let bullies win.
And he was like, "No, we got to go. We got to do something." And he's like, "No, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep talking," while everyone else was freaking out.
That's it. I have more of her statement, I think, somewhere, don't I? Okay, this is the guy right beforehand. This is the guy at the event right beforehand. And you could see he's sitting in the front row. He had a water bottle with him, and he is sitting in the front row before he goes up and squirts whatever is in this syringe. This is when somebody else is at the lectern.
He looks a little odd.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. Anybody who's going to do this. Either you're so insanely political that you're just like motivated because your brain is mush to go after your political opponents, or, which is generally the case in instances like this, you have a person who's got a lot of mental illness going on, and there's no like really defined political ideals that the person holds. But he's sitting in the front row.
He looks drunk.
He's kind of a little. This is a very short clip, but
I know
he's kind of sitting there, kind of like wobbling around a little bit in the row in front of these people. And let me wrap up the rundown. And it says
he reminded me in that clip of like Randy Quaid from Independence Day, where he's just like, I got a plane. Let's do this. Yeah.
A little bit of a weird swagger. It's like a weird swagger.
Yeah.
Like, this is just on the heels of the Justice Department announcing they're investigating Ilhan Omar and looking into her over questions about her finances. That hit up on Polymarket, where you could bet, which is, again, a strange thing, whether or not she would be charged by the Department of Justice. And that's part of the process going on here in Minnesota. Trump was asked about this by ABC News, and he had not seen the video, but he said, when asked about Ilhan Omar, "No, I don't think about her. I think she's a fraud. I really don't think about that. She probably had herself sprayed knowing her," he said.
Right.
I haven't seen it. No, I hope I don't have to bother, he said. So he didn't even see the video, and he's like, "I think she sprayed it on herself," which is pretty dopey. She said, here's her statement. After being sprayed by this weirdo, she says, "I'm okay. I'm a survivor, so this small agitator isn't going to intimidate me from doing my work. I don't let bullies win. Grateful to my incredible constituents who rallied behind me, Minnesota strong." I still wonder, like, how did that dude get into that event? And if these are like her fans and her people who are like really supportive of her, I wonder how he just kind of ended up there at this very, very small event.
That looked like the size of a room you'd have at a small town meeting, like your neighborhood.
But it was a town hall, so yeah,
come together, but no more than 30 people.
Like,
what do you sign up or just show up first?
Folks, picture like a room with a lectern and a little microphone and a bunch of folding chairs. It's not. It's small. It was a small ordeal.
Smaller than like a elementary school cafeteria, kind of.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And so there's people who have, his name is out there. He's been charged. I don't know what's on his Facebook. You said something about New York Post article or something.
They were saying, it was just a lot of like MAGA stuff, to be completely honest with you. And
tell me what it was.
I
don't want to just throw out MAGA stuff because I haven't seen anything that led me to believe like this guy was locked in with some kind of political movement.
Yeah, you stand by real quick.
Just hold that. We'll revisit this more in the show, maybe Rundown 2.0, Electric Boogaloo, because there's going to be more updates coming in. And I'm curious, if that's urine, if it was urine, it's shockingly dark. And there's something weird about that.
Have your kidneys checked.
If it's not urine, the hell is it? What the hell was it that he squirted on this person? So we'll hit you with all the updates as that story rolls on. We got your feedback coming in, some more info about the cold because it's getting so cold. Something insane has happened to a family. What? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
I'm not a prime rib guy. I like, I like New York strips or ribeye.
Yeah, I'll eat that too.
I like that fat cap, baby. That's my nickname at the house, Fat Cap.
All right.
All right.
The Jim Colbert Show, weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for our Wednesday, we are going to be expecting another cold one. We'll see temperatures starting off in the 30s this morning before eventually climbing into the upper 50s and low 60s for this afternoon. We'll see a high in Orlando today of around 60 degrees. We'll settle back into the 30s once again overnight tonight. And then looking ahead towards our Thursday, temperatures will be slightly better feeling with highs closer to the mid 60s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
From rock legends to modern icons, Lake Nona Live Tribute Festival unites every genre for a day of music, fun, and memories. One stage, endless hits, one unforgettable day for the whole family. Join Jack Bradshaw from The Jim Colbert Show at the ultimate outdoor music experience as Lake Nona Live Tribute Festival brings the biggest hits of every era to the lawn at Boxey Park on February 7th from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. with a special kids village from 1 to 6 p.m. This family-friendly festival features top tribute bands performing the songs you know by heart, paired with great food, drinks, and plenty of space to relax, dance, or simply take in the music. Come early, stay late, and make a full day of it. Re-entry is permitted, so you can take breaks and return throughout the day. Get more details at realradio.fm/events.
Hey, Russ Rollins here. Have you ever wondered what foods are good for you and what foods are really not good for you? I don't mean on a grand scale.
Hello.
What you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. I'm surprised. I found out
Welcome
I
in.
eat broccoli, which was good news. Then I also found out I'm not really supposed to be eating Brussels
Here we go.
sprouts, which was bad news. I kind of like those, but it's good to see what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat. And when I went to the doctor, I found out that all my numbers were better than they've ever been because I've been eating the things that are right for me. Like Brazil nuts and mahi are my superfoods.
Stream is glitchy. What's happening?
Eat more of that, and I've been feeling better, and all my numbers were better.
Folks, F's in chat if the stream is glitchy for you.
Just go to this website. Go to Viome.com.
No, Twitch is not banned from Mega Chat. We got Twitch in here.
Viome.com. Viome.com. Stop guessing. Start knowing.
Yeah, Twitch is still making it in. It's skipping like hell.
Ready to kick off the new year with comfort and savings? Renewal by Anderson is celebrating with our happy renewal.
YouTube. Vocalize. Tell me what's or verbalize. Tell me what's going on. F.
Enjoy zero down, zero payments, and zero.
It's normal.
For 1 full year.
Conflicting information coming in.
Impact windows are built for Florida, engineered to handle heat, humidity,
Creamy fixed it.
hurricanes, while helping you save on energy bills year round.
The stream was stuttering. Okay, I can restart it if need be, but I just need to know: is it still stuttering now?
To schedule your free.
Is it still stuttering as of now? Fine.
CGC 152761. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
There's something for everyone at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. Come face to face with more than 800 animals. Discover new lions.
All good?
Hyenas like never before at our largest, most immersive animal habitat expansion, Lion and Hyena Ridge.
Okay, let me just restart real quick, okay?
Thrilling coasters and let the good times roll at Mardi Gras.
Stand by.
Music, parades, and beats for all. Busch Gardens, where wonder meets wild fun. Eat free with a ticket purchase. Hurry, offering soon. Tax service fees, blackout dates, and other restrictions may apply.
Hey, Russ Rollins here. Guys, you know what? If your T is low, you got low testosterone, it's time to get your edge back with Red Mountain Weight Loss. And if you get Red Mountain Weight Loss and get on testosterone therapy, they're going to give you 1 month of a GLP-1 weight loss medication for absolutely free. That's a $299 value. Hey, man, it's worth it. If you're getting older, doesn't mean that you got to, feel old. Prescription testosterone.
All right, stand by.
Get up and go.
Stand by. I just restarted it. Give it some time. There's a delay. There's all that stuff.
Less effort in the gym. You're going to feel better. You're going to sleep better, and you're going to love a little bit better, if you know what I mean. It's Red Mountain Weight Loss. Don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone.
Chat being weird again?
It's a game changer, and you're going to.
They said it was like skipping and getting a little weird. I restarted Rack Mini 1.
Gonna get ripped. So this month, get your free GLP-1 medication, a $290.
And I also have a button that'll just restart OBS when we need to, if you feel like something's being weird about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I did. I restarted OBS on Rack Mini 1. That's what I did. So we'll see what happens. Seems to have fixed it.
Thursday, January 29th at 6 p.m. at the Orlando Harley-Davidson Historic Factory. Must be 21 plus to drink. Visit OrlandoHarley.com for more details.
Find out what your home is currently worth.
Ice did not grab Creamy, everybody, all right?
Enter your address and you'll get your answer.
All right, we're back in about 90 seconds.
Google the Nickley Group.
Numbers just plummeted? What happened? Is this people refreshing? How are we doing? Before we come back, let me know how it's going. It's still freezing? Why are our numbers just plummeting? What the fuck is happening?
Except Discover. In a little.
Freezing? Okay. I'm going to tell Celia to restart it.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop.
Hey, I think we need to restart the other OBS. It's like freezing like crazy.
Shouldn't get the parachute pants?
The actual stream?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else. It's like freezing up. I don't know what to do. I mean, some people are saying it's good. Maybe we should.
Let me go on YouTube and watch it.
Yeah, give it a shot and let me know.
I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
Good to be with you. Forget the same three songs over and over and over. Hang out with us each day here on the show. You can learn more about everything happening on the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, we'll get some more updates about this syringe gate and what happened to this politician. She's giving a speech and some dude gets up and squirts a whole bunch of liquid on her, and they don't know exactly what it was. And then afterwards, everybody's trying to say, like, he's team this guy and team that guy. Sabrina sent over a link from the Daily Beast, who I usually hit the brakes with because the Daily Beast is not exactly what I would call down the middle. But they were trying to say this guy was, I think they said MAGA coded, which is like, okay. There was a post of Donald Trump with Erica Kirk after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And then there was a post of him with like an Israeli flag image or something, which I think was the entirety of the argument that they were using to connect this guy to MAGA, which is about what I've seen on the other side, where somebody said he used to date a Somalian woman and one of his kids is like using different pronouns. It's like, I don't know that anybody knows much about this guy right now. The neighbor is giving the best information. The neighbor is saying the guy had gotten into an accident and maybe had some problems. And I'm going to filter this in as more comes out. We'll probably learn more about it during the show today.
And I was simply just sharing what the other articles were saying.
I wasn't suggesting otherwise.
Assuming, and clearly it's just a crazy person, regardless of whatever side, shouldn't be spraying people with.
I mean, I think in these conditions, which is why I said it earlier, I think it could be two things. One thing is like somebody so wrapped up in politics that they have gone crazy. Their brain has broken and they decided that this is the thing to do. The other thing is like legitimately crazy, right? Like the person is a deranged human being. And then what happens with the deranged human being is people go like, oh, look, he's this guy. It's like, that's not why this person did this. This person did this because they were mentally ill and they've got all kinds of other stuff going on. But we don't know. I mean, this show tackles stuff a lot of times as it's kind of happening. So we'll look at everything. I'll filter it out. I'll tell you what I think is the God's honest truth about the story as things roll on here. Now, I do want to tell you something different. I got to tell you the story about something that happened last night. But first, a little word to the wise when it gets quite cold outside. This is a true story. Let me bring this up from WILX, excuse me, WILX. And we don't have a rundown on this one, but I do have just a story to offer up for you.
I missed the rundown.
It got so cold, and this student at the University of Michigan was apparently kind of screwing around in the cold, which is not a good idea. Not a good idea. You do not underestimate what cold weather can do to you. As I've told you before on this show, a lot of people don't understand this.
Screwing around.
Well, a lot of people don't understand, I'll say it again, that many more humans are killed by cold weather every year as opposed to hot weather. Cold weather kills more people around the entire world every year than hot weather. This is just a fact of life. All right. And then when I say screwing around, C-Lane, it always brings back, and I'll tell you what happened in this story in a moment, but it always brings back a story that stuck with me over the years. There was a guy who was drunk at his friend's house, and I think they were all like smoking weed and drinking and whatnot, and he was not wearing the appropriate clothes for the winter weather and the storm that was hitting, and he drove away in his vehicle, which obviously he should not have done. And then the guy was so like kind of high and out of his mind, he got lost. There's snow everywhere, and he gets out of his car and he starts walking around, and he's obviously doesn't have a jacket on and stuff, and he's trying to figure out if he can find somebody to get some help. And they found him the next morning dead in the snow. And like, we'll talk about an incredibly preventable thing.
Right.
All you had to do was stay inside, and you would still be alive. And people sometimes do this. They don't take it serious enough. Here's what happened to this guy. Lucas Matson was his name. Here he is.
This morning, the University of Michigan is dealing with the loss of one of its students after a nearly 20-hour-long search in frigid conditions. 19-year-old Lucas Matson was found dead. Here's a picture of him on your screen. He was reported missing on Friday and was considered in danger due to the weather conditions. According to the Ann Arbor Police Department, they found his body on Saturday. There were no signs of foul play. The Washtenaw medical examiner will do an autopsy to determine an exact cause of death. Crisis support is available for students on U of M's campus. For more information on this story, you can go to WILX.com.
Well, I will, and I shall. Hang on, let me stop this. It said that this guy was last seen walking by himself despite the cold. C-Line, bring up Ann Arbor, Michigan weather. What are we talking about over there? This was on Friday, but I don't imagine it's changed drastically since then. I could be wrong. He was walking by himself wearing a T-shirt and jeans.
It's 13 degrees right there right now.
Yeah, T-shirt and jeans. Yeah, that ain't good. Let me see. Let's ask TNJ.
That's a real C-Lane move. That's
if you were in 13-degree weather, TNJAI, 13 degrees outside in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and you went outside in jeans and a T-shirt,
they said,
how long would it take until something happened to you?
Well, it wouldn't take long for you to start feeling the effects. In 13-degree weather, with just jeans and a T-shirt, you'd probably begin shivering within a few minutes. Hypothermia could set in within an hour or so.
Really? Within an hour or so, your hypothermia could set in, and this guy's just outside in the weather like that.
The 23rd? Am I getting the right date? Last Friday?
Yeah, last Friday, I believe, is what it said.
Ann Arbor hit a record low of negative 19 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, my
The period
God.
was characterized by dangerously cold conditions with high temperatures in some parts of the region failing to get anywhere near zero.
Oh, my God, it's even worse.
T-shirt and shorts?
Yeah, like that's not even a funny thing. Like, hey, guys, I'm going to go outside. Just wearing a T-shirt and jeans or shorts or whatever. that is deadly. You're literally risking your entire life doing this. And so that's what happened to this University of Michigan student. Pretty crazy.
They also, I mean, I assume this happened later in the evening, probably not 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but around 5 o'clock in the afternoon and a little bit before, they were registering some pretty high wind gusts.
Really?
In Ann Arbor.
Yeah, so maybe he just got out there, got trapped somewhere, couldn't move around. Because they said no foul play, and they don't suspect anything else happened to this guy. But just 19 years old. The winter weather can do that. And I teased about a family that had a shock like this. I'll tell you more about that as the show rolls on. More details on the whole syringe gate thing that's happening and what's going on with that story. But when we come back, we're not talking a lot about the Olympics yet. We got to work that into the show because there's one dude who has stepped up and is funding the Olympics, paying all of the Olympians.
Excuse me.
From every country?
All of the U.S. Olympians.
Okay.
All right. America first. He's paying all of the U.S. Olympians. I'll tell you what this guy is paying out, who he is, and what's happening with the Olympics. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Wherever your plans take you on Super Sunday, you can take the big game with you. From the opening kickoff to the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy, Real Radio 104.1 is the home of Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 60.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's not too much to worry about on your commute this afternoon.
Hello.
Goldwinter Garden Road and the traffic lights are
Status update.
New York Avenue, State Road 46 at I-95.
You guys still out there?
It's called the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic.
I see a couple people on Twitch.
676-8477.
Is that a YouTuber?
James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored.
Can you guys hear me?
Dukes, it's got twang.
I pray everything is okay. Still skipping. C-Lane said he just watched it and it wasn't skipping. Now I'm going right to the source.
It's almost over. That means only a little bit of time left for that New Year reset at Hammer and Nails Grooming for Guys. It's not just your everyday barbershop. It is a total man care experience and a lounge design for guys. That means full bar.
Not skipping for me.
To take advantage of while you do your haircut, your groom trim. Hot towels and a drink in your hand. That's how they do it at Hammer and Nails. That's why I love it. There's locations across Central Florida.
Oh, get into a loop. Watch this. What if I go, not skipping for me? Not skipping for me. Not skipping for me. Not skipping for me. Not skipping for me. Couple minutes, we're back live. Sounds like you're getting trolled, Sean. Just so you guys know, it might be Twitch. Twitch has been having a lot of stability issues in the last 48 to 72 hours. I blame Lakari's porn stash.
And they can handle it all. All plumbing service, drain and sewer service, water heater services, gas services, and water treatment services, and that's just where it begins. Contact Modern
Kevin, please have a personality. Please. My God, please. Thank you, Dakota Mayad. Dakota Mayad. Thank you, Dakota Mayad.
Trusted by over 70,000 people right here in Central Florida. I love working with this company. It's Solar Source. SolarSource.com/.
It's about to get real cold in Florida, by the way. The worst we're going to see Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You'll be freezing your ass off. Yeah, there is an update for Twitch, by the way. If you're on the Twitch app, there is an update right now. That may or may not help you. This is why YouTube is better. Sorry, Twitch. Sorry. I love you, Twitch. All right? I love you.
Inside one firm, under one roof.
There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync. Because
Every time there's a problem with Twitch, I blame Alicia B. Really? Hey, what do you guys think about Ilhan Omar using the word survivor in her statement? She got sprayed with some goo. We don't know what the goo was. It's bad. The guy shouldn't have done it. It's scary. I would have been scared. It's uncalled for. It's all of these things. I think the person was just a nut job. All right. I don't think he was MAGA coded. I think that's a bunch of weirdo journalists, unless I learned something else about this. But Ilhan Omar saying in her statement that she's a survivor? A survivor? Seems hyperbolic? Yeah, I'd say so.
This deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178 or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more. It all comes down to this, folks.
I'm not going to police anybody's language after being attacked? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Of course you are. There's going to be a point where you're like, okay, all right. Don't be silly. There's no way on earth that you are the one person ever who would go, a person has been attacked, so therefore anything that they say afterwards is just automatically right and doesn't deserve any second glances. Come on. You know that's not true. Just say that you're okay with her saying survivor.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating,
You know that's not true.
it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
Just updated my Twitch app? Well, God bless. Hang on and don't let go, baby.
Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor.
Here we go.
Doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
The kind of crew who types the word functioning in bold, italic, and underline.
Pay close attention when you hear keywords on this station. iHeart and the Suits and all their infinite wisdom have decided to hand people like you $1,000 at a time for listening to this show and this station. Do not refuse their money. Take the iHeart money, okay?
That means that when you get a phone call after doing the submission, which is very easy to do, just pick up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Pick it up and you could be $1,000 richer.
Because it might be some weird number. If you're playing in the keyword game, bite the bullet for the next hour and just pick up all the calls you get. And if somebody says, there's a tree trimmer, I'm in the neighborhoods, tell them to suck it and hang up. But if you hear on this station a keyword, take iHeart's money. What are you doing? Why? I mean, there's people all the time who listen to this show who end up winning $1,000. Why would you not do it? I would encourage you to do it. Speaking of money, money truly does talk. And with a bunch of people heading to the Olympics, Mr. Money, these folks on Team USA, baby. I'm still Team USA. I love the United States of America, and I want them to win in the Olympics. Take down all these folks. The China folks, take down the Russians. I don't care where they're from. Take down the Jamaican bobsled team, baby. One at a time. They had the best songs. They got the best movies, but Team USA all the way, baby. Team USA has won more Olympic medals than any other nation on earth, but the U.S. government doesn't usually spend a lot of money for the folks who win. However, and let's use a little AI to see what we can learn on this. Ilhan, run this through the system and say what countries pay athletes the most if they win medals at the Olympics. Because a lot of other countries, you go out there, you're fighting for, let's say, China or some of these other countries, and if you win gold, they think it makes themselves look so good. It makes their country look so good on the world stage. They'll pay you because you're an athlete that has brought a lot of good fortune and positive spotlight on their country. But the USA doesn't do that as much. However, one man has stepped in, and this one man is going to pay every single U.S. Olympian. When I tell you how much in just a moment, you are going to be shocked.
Is this a tax write-off or something? I'm so confused. I appreciate his patriotism, but that's a lot of money.
I don't know if it is or not. He's a very wealthy man.
Wouldn't be, but
I mean, what's the catch?
I think it should be. I think it should be because if this guy is giving out money to all these Olympic athletes, and they're U.S. athletes, especially if they actually live in the United States of America. They don't have to, just for the record.
You could write them off by just giving them like a 1099.
Sure.
Yeah, that would be lame.
What if the catch is like under the U.S. flag is also his company's logo? Or maybe just his face.
No, he's not doing any of that. Here's the story from the Wall Street Journal before we get into what other countries pay. This is a private citizen in the United States of America who's giving all these U.S. Olympians. So when you start watching the Winter Olympics here soon, you see all these athletes on, remember this. One mega rich guy is paying every single one of them. The Wall Street Journal says the U.S. government doesn't fund Olympic athletes. So one man is paying them $200,000 each.
Damn!
For all of the U.S. athletes who are participating in the Olympics and I believe the Paralympics too. I believe both of them.
They get $100,000 or?
I think everybody just gets $200,000. It says $100 million gift is what this guy put forward from financier Ross Stevens. Maybe we can look him up too and see what he's coming from. But Ross Stevens will give American Olympians what they have never had, a retirement nest egg. The story says Team USA has won more Olympic medals than any other nation on earth, but unlike other powerhouses in the games, the U.S. government doesn't spend a dime rewarding Olympic athletes. Any prize money comes mainly from sponsorships and sale of broadcast rights. One man is hoping to give them more financial security. Well, in Milan, Italy, at the Cortina Olympics next month, financier Ross Stevens will give $200,000 to each U.S. Olympic and Paralympic athlete, regardless of performance. $100,000 will be given to them first, and then half will get delivered to them in 20 years.
Wow.
So
interesting.
And it's not the first time that he has donated a lot of money. I'm looking him up now. He donated $100 million to rename and enhance the PhD program at University of Chicago Booth School of Business. He is the founder and CEO of Stone Ridge Holdings Group, so he knows finance, obviously. And
this guy knows how to hold.
PhD in finance and statistics from the University of Chicago.
Wow. All right. So he's got a lot of money. This guy's
His
obviously
net
very
worth, I'm looking at approximately $10.1 billion.
All right. He's taking $100 million of that. And he said the amounts will be paid in two increments. The first $100,000 will come 20 years after their first Olympic appearance that's eligible for compensation. And the second $100,000 will come as a guaranteed benefit payable upon death to the family of this person. The figure of $200,000 is payable for each participation, so you can win the compensation multiple times, they said.
Damn.
So basically, like, whether it's either 20 years after your first Olympic appearance, which I'll explain why I think that's good in a second here, or when the Olympian turns 45 years old. So I'll just make this like you're an Olympian to make this all make total sense. Let's say you're an Olympian. Congratulations, it's your first Olympics. Yay!
Can't wait.
I've waited my whole life and trained so hard.
Let's say it's C-Lane who's participating and he's 30 years old. He will either get his first $100,000 for being a U.S. Olympian. He'll get the first $100,000 from this guy. 20 years after his first Olympic appearance or when he turns 45, which for Sealand in this example, I said if he was 30 years old, he would get it in 15 years when he turned 45. So he'd get it before that.
When do I get the other 100?
You get the other 100 when you die. Your family gets the other $100,000 when you die. Each person gets that. And if you participate in multiple Olympics, you get multiple payouts exactly like this. That's pretty cool, I think, that somebody's willing to do that. And I think it's smart to hold the money back a little bit because, I don't know. I've told you guys the story a bunch of times. When I was young, I ended up with a lawsuit. I didn't make myself rich by any stretch of the imagination, but I think when I was 12 or 13, I got $35,000 or $40,000 from this lawsuit. Somebody hit me in the eye with a rock, and I had to go to the hospital. It was miserable. I had to get this dye in my veins once every 2 weeks for a couple of years so they could take pictures of my eye. I had to go to the emergency room after it happened to get my eye flushed. It sucked. I would have paid the money not to have gone through any of that. But I did. And I ended up, when I was 18, it had matured to about like $45,000 or $50,000. And at first...
And then when you were 19, it was gone.
At first, no, a little longer than that, but not much. You know what? Actually, it may have been that quick. At first, I was like, I'm not touching this. There's no reason for me to touch this. And then slowly but surely, I'd take a little bit out here, a little bit out there, a little bit out here, a little bit out there. And I just decimated it all.
We also had a baby.
I did, yeah. And so, and I started to spend it on not just Dylan, not my son at the time, but all sorts of dodo things, all sorts of really, really wasteful things. And then it got down to like my last $7,000 or $8,000, and I wanted to get a newer car than I had. I had an '87 Camaro at the time, and so I got a 1994 Camaro for $6,000 or $7,000 with like the end of my money. But that's what a lot of people do. If you get a chunk of money at 18 years old or 21 years old or maybe even 25 years old, you probably won't be super responsible with it. Some of you might, but a lot of people will not. And a lot of people, when you're going to give a chunk of money, a sum of money to a person like this, will spread it out. So your first one you get either in 20 years or when you turn 45 years old. Second chunk of money you get on death, your family benefits from it. And I think that's great. I wonder why the U.S. government doesn't do this, but what do the other governments do, Sealand? What did we find out?
It says the U.S. government doesn't pay Olympians, but the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee, which I guess is not government-based, because this is not on my Wikipedia list of what people get paid for their medals, and I'll get to that in a second. Okay. The committee offers performance-based taxable bonuses for medals. All right. $37,500 for a gold, $22,500 for silver, and $15,000 for bronze. Okay. Starting in 2026, that's what we're talking about right now. Athletes receive this financial package in deferred compensation and insurance. And that's what we're talking about with this.
This is from the billionaire guy.
Yeah, from the billionaire guy. But over to Wikipedia, where there's a page called Incentives for Olympic Medalists by Country. And I'm guessing by virtue of the fact that the U.S. is not on this list, this is actual country governments paying their Olympians for what they get for medals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the most generous of the bunch is Hong Kong.
Oh. All right, Hong Kong. What are you paying out, baby?
Hong Kong's gold medalists get $769,558 or 6 million Hong Kong units, whatever their
a lot.
thing
That's
is
a good
called.
chunk.
For each gold medal, they get that?
Each gold medal, I would assume for each one, yeah. It would be. Why would you want to win more than one gold medal if you only get paid once?
No, what if they don't get any medals at all?
Nothing.
I'm not
Jail?
seeing...
Shame.
That would be hilarious. I'm not seeing...
You either get prison or you're rich. It's a real-life Squid Game.
There's a notes section, but I'm not seeing specific salaries listed. Hong Kong gives you $769,000, $384,000 for silver, $192 for bronze. Singapore's up there too, $737 for gold.
That's a lot.
The country of Georgia, you can get $318,000 for a gold medal. Let's see.
That seems irresponsible for the country of Georgia to do that. I don't know that they have enough money to throw around.
Maybe Georgia's. They've got
they've
some.
been doing in the Olympics.
They've got some shekels. Maybe that's
the thing.
Maybe that's the case. You know, they're so bad at the Olympics that they're like, okay, here we'll put this bounty up. We're not going to have to pay it.
It's like when you have a bounty for something no one is ever going to claim it. You're like, all right, if anybody can jump in one fell swoop from the ground to the top of the Empire State Building, I will give them $1 million. Congratulations.
The country of Kazakhstan gives you $250,000 for gold. Very nice. Yeah. And then we get down to, let's see, Greece, $100,000 for gold. Russia, $61,000.
Wow, we're cheaping them out, man. I mean, I like that the billionaire guy is doing this, but I think we could do a little bit better than that, for God's sake.
Japan, $45,000. South Africa, $37,000. And
Jamaica on there?
And then I don't know why they're listing it like this, but Sweden, Norway, and Great Britain are just goose eggs for all three medals.
They're just happy to be here.
Great Britain has an annual stipend of $36,000 to each athlete. So some of them do get more of like a salary kind of deal.
The guy who's paying all these U.S. Olympians $200,000 each, Stephen Ross, real estate dude. He's behind a company called Related Companies, which is the most generic name for a company I think I've ever heard in my life, and owner of the Miami Dolphins. It's the Dolphins guy, really. He's a billionaire, and
also owns Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah, he owns Hard Rock Stadium and the Miami Grand Prix. So like that, the Grand Prix F1 race.
Imagine what he would pay the Dolphins if they won. You know,
he should do that. He should throw that up there. Oh, God. Well, okay, that's interesting. So that's how they're funding this. You're going to see the Olympics pop up before too long. And just know each one of those people, both when they die and when they hit like 35 or so or 45, they will get a check from this guy. That's pretty good. Let us know your thoughts. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com, thenewsjunkie.com.
My wife is a big Olympics fan. She gets into it when the Olympics come around. And I couldn't remember the other day whether it was just the summer one, because some people are like super into the Summer Olympics, don't give a damn about the Winter Olympics. So I tried to bait her. I was like, babe, you know, I haven't even heard a peep from you about the Winter Olympics. They're coming up. She's like, I know, I'm so excited. I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this.
I like Winter Olympics and Summer Olympics, but the thing that's the biggest determiner or whether or not I'm going to watch is how big the time difference is.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know why.
Last time was like you had to be up at 3 a.m. to watch anything, right?
Yeah, and I want to watch it live. I don't want to watch something like that where it could be spoiled and I'm watching it afterwards, and I know this isn't happening right now. I want to watch the Olympics live. And so in Italy, the time difference is a little better, but maybe I'll have to wait until it comes to California. And then at that point, I'll tune in. I'll watch this year for sure. All right, quick break. When we come back, we've got a lot more to get to. That family that was in a huge winter weather emergency. More updates on Ilhan Omar and what happened at that Minneapolis town hall where somebody squirted her with a mystery thing from a syringe.
I want to know what's in the syringe. We got a little bit of liquid in there.
I don't know yet.
We'll dive deeper into that rabbit hole. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
Monsters in the Morning.
Hello. Here's the deal. I'm starting to think it's a Twitch issue, folks.
Is up to speed on most of them. You're just going to get caught up in some typical delays still piling up on I-4.
Twitchers, I know your house is your house, but if things get bad, pop on over to youtube.com/thenewsjunkie, and when things stabilize, you can go back.
That's not causing any problems.
Hello?
Hey. See traffic trouble.
Is the stream messing up for you?
It was when you first caught it.
But not anymore? Now it's good? Okay.
From the traffic center of James, Birmingham.
Okay.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
No.
It's where we raise our families and provide for yours. When you shop for Florida grown fruits and vegetables, look for local. Choose Fresh from Florida, the homegrown brand of Florida farmers.
Thank you. Okay, be safe. Love you. Bye. See you later. I won't survive in YouTube? Why not? You people act like YouTube is a place where everybody's just squirting syringes at you or something. Survivors everywhere.
Seth Rollins here. Guys, you know what? If your T is low, you got low testosterone, it's time to get your edge back with Red Mountain Weight Loss. And if you get Red
Folks on YouTube, let's see that like button. Let's get those numbers up. Let's get those numbers up, YouTube.
value, hey man, it's worth it. If you're getting older,
Ilhan staged the whole thing. Now, what evidence do you have to suggest that's true?
Muscle and less effort in the gym. You're
Huh?
gonna feel better, you're gonna sleep better, and you're gonna live a little bit better. If you know what
I think she's a little crazy, but I don't think. You think she had a man blatantly sit in the front row of her event and do this? You know that she's at least smart enough to know there's going to be investigations afterwards, right? What's your evidence on this?
Testosterone therapy only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment today. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone and say the keyword Red Mountain.
Flats Fisherman says on YouTube, so Sean's parents sued his friend's parents because they were having a rock fight and he got hit with a rock? Hell, didn't we have rock fights when we were kids? Kind of true. I wasn't having a rock fight as much as there were two kids at the bus stop who used to bully me and harass me almost nonstop until finally my father put me in kickboxing classes, and then I learned how to box, and eventually I was going up to Golden Gloves and was actually really good at fighting and boxing. And these two jackass kids from the neighborhood who harassed me all the time and would bully me and throw berries at me at the bus stop and stuff, they would throw rocks at me from this sand hill that was at the park across the street from our house. Would I return fire? Yes, because I had to do something. I wasn't just going to sit there and let them hit me and turn the other cheek. But they were bombarding me with rocks because they were bullying me. And one of them hit me right in the eyeball. And my father asked for his father to just pay for the hospital bill since I had to go to the emergency room. And he refused because he's a dumb motherfucker. And we sued his homeowner's insurance company with Searcy, Denny, Scarola, Barnhart, and Shipley, the attorneys. And we won a whole bunch of money. And then the attorneys really regretted it because my brother thought at the time that I was getting too much attention for this lawsuit. And so he went into the bathroom as we were signing the check to take it home. And he had stuffed the sink with a bunch of toilet paper and had flooded their entire ritzy bathroom. But those are just true stories. And now Sean bullies us. Horse hockey. Bull hockey and horse hockey. I bully you now. You guys are way more mean to me. Despite how good I am to you.
They care that much. And man, I got to tell you, going through the process for my family and I was unbelievable, especially when you consider what the scam.
What movie is this?
Keep you around the ones you love for many years to come.
And he says, asshole should have paid the bill. I mean, come on.
Could not be easier.
Come on, what do you want?
Dial pound 250 and say the keyword free heart scan. That's it. Pound 250. Say that keyword free.
I feel like you never talked about your brother until recently. I don't, and I won't.
Just a few memorable.
You might hear a tidbit every now and then.
And please, while you're there, make sure you ask about their cancer screening as well, because early detection.
I feel like I'm in a Wasson therapy session.
Get that scan today and learn how you can extend your life for years to come. Facing an injury is tough.
Bull hockey chaos. I do not make fun of you daily. I like you and I support you. All I expect is a little bit of support back.
No hidden costs, no upfront fees, just dedicated, hardworking lawyers when you need them the most. Why wait? If you are injured on the go, visit Just Call Mo.
If we fire all the federal employees, does not include the president, his staff, and security, and all of Congress? Left field, man. That's like everybody's talking about red, and somebody comes in with a haymaker for blue. 90 seconds and we're back. Ass has been unlocked. This is your final moment. Right now, I'm going to shut it down at 1 o'clock. This is your final moment to get in on the poll at thenewsjunkie.com/poll to determine whether Sunday's live stream, your bonus live stream, is in the morning or in the afternoon. All right? TheNewsJunkie.com/poll, TheNewsJunkie.com/poll. This is your final opportunity. And then we'll lock in whether the bonus stream on Sunday is going to be in the AM or the PM. All right, let's go.
What does it take to lead with clarity and purpose?
I'm going to tell you a pretty shocking story from last night when we come back, all right? True story. Something that happened last night. Stand by.
Season 2 of Leading by Example. We'll sit down with executives like Grace Chen of Birdie Gray to find out.
Founders need to learn how to get out of their own way and make space for bringing in the experts.
Listen to Leading by Example, Executives Making an Impact on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Leading by Example and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
The biggest stories of the day in all their glory and insanity. You're listening.
Just a moment. Something that happened last night. It got weird. Got intense. We'll get to the details on what went down. That's coming up in just a moment. You can subscribe to the podcast if you miss any of the show. Catch up over there at thenewsjunkie.com. Big, fat shout out to Barbara. Barbara on YouTube just saying moments ago in chat. Barbara's saying, hey, it's freezing cold outside. I'm rocking my The News Junkie free absolution hoodie.
Oh,
and
nice.
I'm sure looking great. Big shout out to you, Barbara, out there in the merch on Wear the Show Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
If you're wearing any
too.
of the show merch, let's see, rock that over on the website. Yeah, you got the same one right there, the
It's
free
a very,
absolution one.
very warm one. I got to tell
one-
you. One of my faves.
That one is one of the ones that is like not too thick, like the big giant hoodies, but
Yeah.
not too thin, like the little tiny t-shirt ones.
The only reason I took it off is because apparently the heater's on here in the studio, in the control room. It's a
yeah.
good 85 degrees if I'm looking at this right.
I heard that
HQ.
wasn't the case in some of the other studios in this building.
No, it's you. As soon as you get out the door, you could feel like the wall that, the invisible wall of heat to
The opposite of leaving the airport?
Yeah, precisely.
iHeart HQ has very strange strategies for climate control.
Oh, yeah, like
They,
fake AC.
Yeah, with a lock.
Thingamabobber. No, mine's there, but it's just like for fun. It's like
It's just a plastic one. Yeah.
it's just one of those stimulating tools or toys that they give to kids, like so they can just feel like they're doing something.
It's like the fake ship wheel on the front of the
yeah.
ship. So you spin it around to feel like you're doing something.
I'm sweating.
I had quite the experience last night. I went out got done with all the work for the day, and then went out to go grab a drink. And Courtney and I saddle up to the bar, and there's a ton of people. I don't know why, really. Most of the sports stuff is kind of chilled out for right now, but it was pretty busy. And when Courtney and I sat down, there were 3 old dudes right in a row next to us, and they were loud, boisterous old dudes. Very, very loud. How old? I would say these guys were between their 60s and maybe 75, like 60 to 70. They were like older dudes, and they're all they had a couple of drinks in them. They're commiserating. These guys are having a great time. Okay, and pay attention to where this story goes, because I think this is a great allegory for our time and where we're at. And I want you to remember this. So these 3 old dudes are sitting there yucking it up. Oh, they're having a good time. They're patting each other on the back. They're cheersing. They're drinking their beers. They're having their shots. They're partying together, and they're talking about all their favorite stuff. They're talking about cars. One of them says, I got a Hellcat. Check it out. And he's showing him his car on his phone like it's his kid. Take a look. Oh, man, that's awesome, man. That's cool that you have that, man. And they are just having a hell of a time. And then one of them says something about politics. All right? And at that point, the smartest guy among them chimes in. And he goes, man, you know what? You know what's crazy about politics? You don't talk about politics right now. You don't talk about politics because here's the problem. And things kind of got quiet when he said this. I was tuned in. The guy goes, politics will make you fight with people who otherwise you'd be friends with.
Oh.
And I thought, that's right. He's right. That guy is so right. There's people that do nasty stuff and say nasty stuff. There's people who say nasty stuff to me just for having like an opinion on this show, just because they disagree with something, and they'll like be personal. And there's a lot of stuff like that happens all the time. It's kind of part of what's going on here. But the guy was right. He's like, if you bring up politics, it makes people who otherwise would be friends start fighting with each other. And they're like, yeah, hell yeah, pat on the back, drink their beer. And then one of the guys like, well, I don't know. I mean, this ICE stuff is crazy anyways. And then the other one started talking about Epstein and Clinton. And the other one was like, well, Trump's just trying to do his best. He's just doing everything he can. And they're trying to hold him out. And
no one listened to the guy.
I'm not kidding you. These three guys, including the one guy who just said politics turns people who otherwise would be friends into people fighting and at each other's throats. These guys then started yelling at each other. Everybody in the bar is kind of listening as these old men are yelling at each other. Sure. They're at each other's throats. One of them goes, do it again, see what happens. Do it again. And the other one's like pointing his finger. These old guys are about to fight. They're about to brawl at the bar. And then all of a sudden, one of them was like, whoa, calm down, man. You got to relax. And one of them goes to take a bathroom break. And the two who are fighting the most with each other, they ended up swapping chairs to put a little space between these two guys because they just started fighting. They were the best of friends, patting each other on the back, drinking beers, cheersing moments before. And then it went from that into an inconsolable situation where they were all of a sudden worse enemies, and they were literally going to punch each other. Their old asses were going to punch each other and possibly risk death. So then,
or at least a fractured hip.
The guy comes back and he goes, the bartender even goes, you know the rule, man. Not supposed to talk about politics at the bar. They start looking at the Hellcat again on the guy's phone, and he's like, "Oh man, did you pick that color?" And good friends again. And somebody, one of the guys again goes, "Yeah, I mean, that's one of the craziest things I've seen since that Trump P tape." And they started going again, and they started firing up again. And they're grabbing each other
and prodding.
Nobody stopped and goes, "Wait, you've seen the Trump P tape?"
They had to check them out and get these old guys out of there so they wouldn't fight over each other, even though one of them said the whole time, you don't talk about politics at the bar because it will turn a conversation with people you would otherwise like into something where you're fighting with each other, and you shouldn't be. And it was so mind-blowing for me to sit there quietly. I did not interject. It's a little difficult for me sometimes when I hear people screwing up all sorts of things and saying things wrong, and I'm like, that's not true. And so I sat there quietly, and I listened to these old men who were friends. I listened to them at each other's throats and ready to fight, maybe ready to die, right? And literally one of them was saying, I will die over this. One of them was like, I fought for this. I fought in the military, and I'll die for my speech again. And
yeah.
I mean, they're yelling at each other like this. And as they're yelling, they're throwing out all this stuff that I'm like, that's probably just propaganda from some other country. The P-tape stuff, the lots of stuff about like Epstein stuff that was just completely made up. There was lots of things that I was like, this is the type of stuff that other countries' intel organizations come up with. They thrust it on the American public on social media to make us fight with each other. And then it turns into three old men at each other's throats at the bar. And just to see it like literally happen in real time in front of me was so amazing.
You know what this calls for? Emergency karaoke.
That wouldn't have solved it in the middle because these guys were about to punch each other in the face.
All right, if we got our first karaoke person and it's just loud enough that they can't help but sing along to Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
Bow, bow, bow. I forgot about my problems.
So Proud to Be an American gets picked.
I can't pretend I'm a perfect guy, though, because when they finally calmed down and they were like sending them home.
You wanted to start it again, didn't you?
The bartender came back over and he was like, good luck on that Hellcat, man. And then I said, you know who I hear has a Hellcat? Kamala Harris. I tried to just toss a couple of Old Man River grenades in there to see if I could fire it up again, but it was something to see, man. It was something to see. It was like wildly misinformed people. Nobody knew what the hell they were talking about. All of these old men were insanely uninformed. They don't listen to this show, clearly. These people were so insanely uninformed. They were buddies. They were pals. They were cheersing. And then they got into political stuff and they wanted to punch each other or kill each other based on the words they were saying at that moment. They could not agree to disagree. And I will bring this back to the table as many times as I need to, because it is the most important thing for all of us in America. I don't care if you hear this so many times that you say, I'm not even listening to the show anymore. We need to learn to agree to disagree on particular issues like we used to. You used to be able to have people that you disagreed with without completely unfriending them from your life, without saying, I'll never talk to my family member again. You used to have people who you were like, they're really dumb. They're incredibly misinformed about this, but we're going to just agree to disagree. I won't talk to you about this. And you do your thing and I'll do mine. And come next election, hopefully the person who is right rallies up the most troops and puts this country on a different path, because that's what things are actually about. And it's so crazy to me that we've all lost this. The ability to just disagree with each other, drop it, and move on has disappeared, and it needs to come back. And I don't know what I can do to help that happen, but I'm all ears and absolutely willing to do it. It was very entertaining, though, to watch these guys. It's like
I'd subscribe.
It was like Grumpy Old Men. It was like a movie where it was grumpy old men. But
I haven't seen one of those in ages.
That was two old men, right?
Yeah.
Where they hated each other. Instead of that,
Walter
it was 3.
Matthau and Jack Lemmon?
I think that's right. It sounds right. And there was just like that, but there was 3 of them. And they all were kind of disagreeing with each other. I mean, there were 2 of them were agreeing more than the other one. Like, you used to be cool, man. Oh, everybody. You have to take a deep breath. It's okay for people to be dumb. It's okay for people to be misinformed. It's okay for all of these things to happen. And you just go, you know what? I don't talk to this person about this stuff. We can just agree to disagree, because I think their brain is turned into mashed potatoes on politics, and I'm going to leave it there. But instead, too many of us have turned into, I want to punch them. I'll never talk to them again. I literally hate them. They're actually Nazis. They hate America. All of these things are inherently bad. And all those thoughts were kind of coming through my mind at that very moment, sitting there at the bar watching 3 old men fight each other. Quick break. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina. What's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? A lot has been going on in the news that some, maybe most, have forgotten about the whole Greenland thing, except for Don Grungio. According to reports, one movie premiering this Friday is shaping up to be one of the biggest bombs in cinema history, like Lone Ranger Bomb. Plus, Brazil makes a horror film about a toilet. Let's guess what the title is, shan't we? All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 8 p.m., it's Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. At 9, it's Real Laughs, followed by Real Music Weekends at 10 on Real Radio 104.1 and on your free iHeartRadio app.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
After another chilly start to our day across Central Florida, we're going to be expecting temperatures this afternoon to remain well below normal for highs. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson, and despite the fact that we'll see mostly sunny skies, temperatures today will only climb to a high of 60 in Orlando. As we head into tonight, temperatures will fall back down into the 30s before eventually climbing back into the mid-60s once again for our Thursday, but cold temperatures arrive as we head towards this weekend. We could see overnight temperatures by Sunday night in the 20s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
With Rasmussen University, you don't have to be afraid of paying for college thanks to transparent costs and financial aid options for those who qualify. It's a smarter, clearer path to the future you deserve. Learn more at rasmussen.edu. That's rasmussen.edu.
Out here.
Hello.
So you get to do nothing or everything, but you still need to be breathing. It's like really important. Experience the difference with cruises to
Breaking news.
It's different out here. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor.
Breaking news, everybody. Just coming through, kind of a big deal. Interesting, and we'll get into this after. We'll get into this after we do the next episode. But breaking news, the federal agents involved in Alex Pretty's shooting have been placed on administrative leave. Originally, that had not been the case, and they had just relocated all of the officers, including the two that fired their weapons, at least one of them, or maybe both of them, who knows, I guess one of them, leading to the death of Alex Pretty. The federal agents who were involved in the shooting have now been placed on administrative leave. I've got the report from DHS, the actual report, like the documentation. I've got the report from DHS, so we'll see what that says a little bit later on in the show.
At Sage, we use the latest in dental innovation, including minimally invasive techniques for more comfort and faster healing. Need a crown? Sage can create same-day custom crowns right in our office. In addition to Medicare, we accept most insurance plans. No insurance? Our Sage Care Plus plan can save you up to 65% on general or special.
2 minutes.
Sage Dental, leading with
2 minutes, everybody. Twitch, I hope you're not skipping as much. I truly do. I hope we have so much less skippage than we did before.
That's 800-218-8877.
Pizza's here.
Crazy Drunk Cat Lady says that's the first step while they investigate. Good.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating,
I mean, I think that makes sense. I think you have any law enforcement officer at all, any of them at all. I believe once they are involved in a shooting of a person, not even a fatal shooting, but a shooting of a person where the person is either injured or dies, I believe it should automatically be that this person is put on administrative leave and then an investigation starts. And that tends to be the case with local law enforcement. But that wasn't the case here, so that's the update. See, Lane, never mind on the Fritz stuff. I guess they've got a deal. So, but I want to look at the scoreboard, and I'll mess with it after the show today, so we can maybe have the scoreboard up with that shot of all of us that you've been doing, which I kind of like. So Fritz big, us small, and then I'll try to work the scoreboard in.
Everdoor.com. Everdoor, the garage door that lasts evermore.
Now that a new year is here, start 2026 by showing your gratitude. iHeartRadio.
Tim says it is 11 degrees in southwestern Ohio. Hey Tim, stay warm. If you had a News Junkie hoodie on, you'd be nice and warm right now. Next time, maybe. God bless on a Wear the Show Wednesday. Here we are, we're coming back.
Money and hearts to help students succeed. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Get all the info and nominate a teacher who goes the extra mile today at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
In the world of entertainment and beyond. And quick piece of breaking news here in just a second as well. Don't forget, you can email the show anytime, as you just heard, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Email the show or record a dispatch. You can do that too at thenewsjunkie.com. Word coming across just moments ago that the officers who were involved in the latest shooting in Minnesota, the Department of Homeland Security agents who fired their weapons at Alex Preddy, have been placed on administrative leave. So they were just relocated. They were actually still working with DHS.
They haven't been identified, right? Or only one or something like that?
Well, they know who they are. They know who they are. They haven't been publicly identified in a lot of mainstream reports, but I think
I've seen some social posts where they're like, "This is the guy," and
right.
So not doxing him just yet, but getting they want to.
And by the way, that's what I think should happen in every case like this. If a law enforcement officer fires their weapon and injures somebody or kills somebody, and this is the case generally speaking, they should always be placed on an administrative leave until a thorough and independent investigation happens. That is now the update, the latest on this particular story. I got the report on that for a little bit later. We'll see how juicy that gets. But right now, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about? Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don, thatmortgageguydon.com. He is the man when it comes to refinancing that beautiful home you own. Maybe you're looking to buy your first dream home, do some debt consolidation, reverse mortgages, HELOCs, get some cash back in your pockets so you can get a space heater or something. But most importantly, when you're making these big life decisions, work with someone who's got your back, who knows what he's doing, and he's looking out for you and your family. Start the process today by going to thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat.
Yeah. What?
Mortgageguydon.com.
23 years ago, 2003, Mattel lost its copyright infringement lawsuit against, come on, you guys.
Aqua.
Barbie? Aqua.
I'll split the point. And against this song for their completely wonderful, this article calling it obnoxious song, Barbie Girl.
Song's a banger.
It really is. I'm ready to party, Barbie.
That whole album is full of just
Bangers?
sweet pop bangers.
That's how I felt
heard
about
you.
the Venga Boys, too. They're great.
I've heard you say this before about that album. I
Is there
don't
one
know.
song in particular besides Barbie that you
There's it's the Candyman one, Dr. Jones.
Oh,
I'm a
Dr.
Candyman
Jones in a
candy
candy world.
Yeah, that one's good too.
Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones.
Oh, you do know it.
No, I had Aqua, the CD. No problem. By refusing to hear the case, the Supreme Court upheld a ruling that the song is a parody and a social commentary and is thus protected by the First Amendment.
All right.
Bitch. And while we're here doing some...
We still got that thing?
Let me see.
Well, we're whittling away at the second one.
Just a
Bit
little
by
bit.
bit.
That's why I carry now.
Mm-hmm.
Carry this thumbs up. And moving on to a fun fact about...
She's got a gun!
What? I'll lock the door. Ken Doll. Did you know he had a full name?
No.
No, beyond just Ken?
Kenneth A. Doll.
No, it's not just Ken. Kenneth Sean Carson.
What?
Yeah, and Sean
how-
not spelled. Yeah. No,
How is it spelled?
That's not the way you spell it.
How is it?
Is it seen?
It's Scene.
Oh.
Kenneth Scene Carson. He'll be celebrating his 65th anniversary in March. Sean's doing that in May, I believe.
Does Barbie have a full name?
Yep. Barbara
Yeah,
Slutbag Sanderson. No, not a lot of people know that. Yeah.
No vagina. Mattel. He's named after the son of Mattel co-founders Ruth and Elliot Handler. Barbie was named after their daughter. So there's that. 65 years old.
Barbie
in
Slutbag.
March. That's my nickname from college. They teased new adventures for Ken with a video of him leaving the beach. Uh-oh, what's he going to do next? CPA? We'll see. We also have some more drama in things that aren't real, but they're making the entertainment news. A battle has been strucketh.
All right.
According to a new report, Nintendo versus Sega.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Wow, seems old-fashioned.
Over what, you ask?
Over what?
Sonic's foot placement on the front cover of crossover game Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Okay, what? Why?
I don't know, dude.
Sonic or Sonichu?
Sonic. What do you mean? What's Sonichu? That sounds like dip.
One person listening will know. One person out there.
I like
Feel
those
free to
references.
email.
By the way, Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts.
Oh, Millicent?
Millicent.
All I will tell you is you beware the curse of the Sonichu medallion. That is the only thing that I will tell you.
Is that something you can hold?
You don't want to because it's
can't,
cursed.
I can't say anymore. I've said enough.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games was released in 2007 for the Wii, rest in peace, ahead of the Nintendo DS, I believe also rest in peace, version the following year. The crossover between the two long-standing rivals saw players competing in a number of sporting events that they find at the Olympics, about gathering everyone from young to old together. And according to a report we had earlier this year, getting paid big time if you're part of the U.S. team. But a new report claims that things weren't always friendly during the development of the game. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games cover art sees the two mascots head-to-head, face-to-face. But according to Sega veteran Ryoichi Hasegawa, there was one small error, and Sonic's foot was in front of Mario's foot, and Nintendo demanded we change that priority style.
Remember when they came out with the Nintendo Wii and because they developed it in, of all places, it could have been anywhere on the face of the earth, but because they developed it in Japan. Damn it.
What happened?
Japan! Oh. I was muted. Because they developed it in, of all places, Japan. They didn't have a lot of like the PC stuff, like, you know, political correct stuff that we had. So it had a scale. Remember, it had a scale with it. And
that's right.
Like, you would get on the scale and it would weigh you, and if you got fatter, sometimes your little character would get fatter, and it was a lot of stuff you could do. It was rough.
And then people were getting hurt, too, because they didn't introduce, like, those wrist guards.
They were throwing their remotes at the TV playing
just
tennis.
trying to bowl or something.
Yeah.
It's so weird when the companies with their IP, when they do mashups, they fight over, like, who gets more airtime and stuff like that. They did that with Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like, I think they all had to agree that Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny had to have the exact amount of screen time or something like that. You know, they get
Fair
weird
play.
with stuff like that.
I appreciate that. Did you see who's coming to Fortnite, by the way?
No.
You too?
Who is?
Very
No.
exciting.
A lot
The
of people are.
Office.
I did see that.
Dwight
Yeah.
and Michael Scott with multiple emotes and outfits.
I am not a video game person, as you know. Over and over and over and over and over again, I'll tell you like the things that I'm bad at, and I'll tell you the things that I'm good at. I'm not good at a lot of things, but I'm very good at the things I'm good at. I'm not good at video games. Does that mean if the Office characters are in Fortnite that they'll have guns?
Yes. Well,
So you could play as them and shoot other people.
Yeah, but you know, the Fortnite guns, and those are all depending on what guns you find and where, and before you get murked, noob.
Okay.
It's been a minute. I have an update to do. I'll try this afternoon because I'm pretty sure it'd be $40 to become Dwight or
Oh my God! It costs $40 to
it's
play as one of those characters.
tokens, unless I earn it via levels, and I feel like I'm way too late. But okay,
I thought it just mentioned you could like go into the like they built out the Office place, the set.
See, I just
in
saw the
Fortnite.
emotes. Oh,
I don't know.
Update to come to you soon. And with that, my time is gone. But congratulations to Greenland, because this guy, he's still thinking about you. I guess with all this other crazy news, did we decide if we're going to take over Greenland or not? Or is that
I thought they made some sort of deal, and I haven't heard too many updates on it.
Here's the real deal. This guy right here.
Neil Young.
Yeah. He's gifting free access to his catalog to the 57,000 residents of Greenland via neilyoungarchives.com.
Didn't Trump promise him like $100,000?
No.
This is worth way more.
The counteroffer
can you
is
access
free Neil Young?
Seelane or Sean, neilyoungarchives.com.
I don't need
Can you access
I don't need the $100,000. I want to rock it in the free world on repeat.
In a new blog post, he said he hoped my music and
I'm on it.
music films will ease some of the unwarranted stress and threats you're experiencing from our unpopular and hopefully temporary government, says Neil Young. A reference, of course, to
whoa.
What?
It's like a filing cabinet on the website, and I can open it?
Whoa.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's for everybody.
Okay. Yeah,
Piano Man, that's not Neil Young.
Why didn't he just sell it? He ended this letter on the blog post. All the music I've made during the last 62 years is yours to hear. You can renew for free as long as you're in Greenland. We do hope other organizations will follow in the spirit of our example. Love Earth, Neil.
All right.
So there you have it. Love Earth. And love you some boob tube. Got The Masked Singer, The Price is Right at Night, Hollywood Squares, season premiere of Shrinking on Apple TV, season premiere of School Spirits on Paramount Plus, The Wrecking Crew on Amazon, and you can catch Kendall Jenner on Fallon. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. But most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. We've got a lot of emails coming in that we got to get to. I've told you there's some big updates out of Minnesota. More on Syringegate and what the hell is happening there. And the Snowden family story that I mentioned earlier.
Edward Snowden?
Maybe is coming up next on the News Junkie. No, not that.
Congratulations, Austin. You just won $1,000 from Real Radio.
That is amazing. Love it. Thank you.
Who's next? Your chance to win is minutes away, courtesy of Mills Air.
You won't be running into any trouble on your afternoon commute. Nothing's tying you up or slowing you down on the major road. Florida's Turnpike. Traffic is at speed on I-95. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline.
How's that booty?
Instant oil change. Traffic tip line at 866.
Hi. How are you?
77 from the traffic center.
Howdy.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Whoever said opposites attract was definitely talking about the new spicy menu at DQ. Spicy flamethrower chicken strip served with a dip of sweet DQ soft serve. Sounds wrong, but tastes so right. The new spicy menu at DQ. Happy tastes good. For a limited time at participating locations.
If you want to buy or sell your home quickly, call Nick Lee. Download a free home buyer's guide at thenicklygroup.com.
All right, I got updates on a lot of stuff. Updates on Minnesota, ICE, etc., etc. Updates on Ilhan Omar and Syringegate. Updates on, well, the ice storm, the snowstorm, and the syringe storm. All coming up in a moment. Hey, weed consumer, how are you? All right, folks, that's it. I'm calling it. Newsjunkie.com. Newsjunkie.com/poll. And the winner is PM. PM is the winner. So this Sunday, a bonus stream has been unlocked by you. The bonus stream will be this Sunday in the PM. And I'm thinking it'll probably be 3 o'clock or so, right around there, but I'll hone it in a bit more. You had your say Sunday, this Sunday, in the PM, the Super Bowl of streams will be served up to you, baby, on YouTube and Twitch. Yeah. 3 p.m. is what you want? 3 p.m. Sunday. 3 p.m. on Sunday on YouTube and Twitch. You have unlocked a bonus stream. Uncensored. Sunday Ass, baby. The Ass Super Bowl. It's gonna be mental. 3 o'clock is perfect, you're saying. Well, good, because 3 o'clock this Sunday, lock it in, baby.
They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan. If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talent
Daniel says, Sean, why haven't there been any Proud Boys or neo-Nazis or alt-right boys? Who are the alt-right boys?
Trust courtesy of Talent Wealth. The folks at Talent Wealth are not
Were the alt-right boys?
attorneys will provide a
Counter-protesting in Minnesota? Well, I think because the fact is Minnesota is a pretty blue state. I think the people who are energized in Minnesota are almost exclusively left-wing folks. And there just aren't a lot of people who are against that there. So that's where it's all kind of congregated. And not to mention, despite what you may have seen online or on television, there are not a lot of actual Proud Boys members or these other groups. They're pretty fringe. They don't have a lot of actual members. Although there are people who want you to think that if you look around every corner, you might spot like a Nazi or somebody from the KKK, it just doesn't turn out to be true.
Outdoor family fun. Head to Sanford Riverwalk on Saturday, January 31st.
It's a blue state doing blue things.
Seminole County Office of Emergency Management is hosting this disaster equipment showcase.
So yeah, I think the reason why you aren't seeing those protesters is because there's not enough people, there's not a big push for it. And you're just like when you hear things in certain states where you're like, well, I don't know, that doesn't make sense there. It wouldn't make sense for there to be a big like MAGA contingency in Minneapolis, for instance.
For more details.
Come on, kids. We're almost there.
Let's see, ready?
One-a-day 50-plus multivitamins are made for your overall health with nutrients
Hey, you there?
for your brain and muscle function. Because don't you want to
You
make
there?
the most of each day? So even on the family hike,
Bro, I can't hear you at all.
hey Dad, wait up.
I have the audio up. Are you there?
One-a-day 50-plus, the one for you. This statement has not been evaluated.
I'll just do this.
by the Drug Administration. This product is not
In Minneapolis, what was the vote in the last election? Trump versus Kamala Harris. What was the percentage?
Are really not good for you. I don't mean like on a grand scale. I mean like for your personal body. That's what Viome does. Yeah, Viome. It's a at-home gut health test that's easy to do.
Closer than I would think. 50.9 to 46.7. City level data. Ah, here we go. This is in Minnesota. City level data. Kamala Harris got 85% of the vote in Minneapolis. So if you're wondering why you're only seeing supporters from one political side, Minneapolis is a pretty left-wing city. Arguably up there with Portland, Seattle, places like that. So yeah, 85% Kamala Harris vote.
If you want to do this, it's easy to do. Just go.
All right, here we go.
Go to
Let's fire up the engines. Let's go, everybody. We're coming back.
Start knowing with Viome.com.
Big Doug Miller says that's why Trump is targeting Minneapolis. It makes sense. Well, yes. Yes-ish. It's also because beyond that representation, it's also a sanctuary city as a whole. So you have 85% of the people heading toward the left in the last election. You have a sanctuary city, and they kind of wanted to make an example out of it. That was a stupid move. Bad strategy.
On identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Happy. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos.
This is going to be big. Maybe. We'll see. Unless they shut it down. All right, join us on the show. Emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. I'll rip through some of those in just a moment here. Hey, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being on the show. You can learn more about all things happening with the News Junkie. You can follow all of us, including myself, Sabrina and C-Lane, over on social media, thenewsjunkie.com/share, thenewsjunkie.com/share. Junkies, do you think this is a good idea or a bad idea? Good idea. Sorry. Let me
reverse.
We got this. Do you think this is a good idea or a bad idea?
Good idea or bad idea?
This is at the United Center in Chicago.
Sweating.
First arena in the United States of America to allow what at the United Center in Chicago? Anybody know?
Is this something that was allowed in the past?
No, never been allowed before.
Black people.
That's right, C-Lane. They're going to allow black people.
Wait, hold on. Wait. This is a historic thing, right?
Last time you went, what concert did you go to that there wasn't a single black person
I thought
there?
you were saying, like, historically, it was the first arena that did this. This is a news story?
This is a brand new story as of today.
Oh, well, then you should have said that.
I did say something brand new.
I said it. All right.
I said this is a brave and bold idea unless they stop them from doing it and coming back from the break.
I thought you meant like historically this was the first, like when they say the baseball team was the first baseball team.
The United Center in Chicago will become the first arena in the U.S. to offer what? Not Jews.
Smoking weed?
Smoking weed is not correct, but it's close.
Vaping?
It's very close. It's not vaping. It's not Asians. If it's Asians smoking weed, different problem might occur.
Why?
The United Center in Chicago.
What's wrong with that?
Their eyes don't open as wide as everybody else. Okay. The United Center in Chicago is the first arena in the United States of America to offer the sale of THC beverages at their games.
Oh, interesting.
It has been exclusively alcohol that you see at sports facilities and arenas alongside your regular like soft beverages. You would have alcohol and beers and things on tap.
This will not end well.
They've never done this before, but they're going to start because it's legal in a lot of these places, just like at the United Center in Chicago. They'll be the first arena to start selling THC beverages, which I thought was kind of an interesting move. And you guys are seeing it as much as I am. This and a million other data points are why the liquor companies are so scared about this.
I thought that a lot of the liquor companies, maybe it's the distributors that are more kind of getting on board with this. Not the same distributors that distribute the liquor are distributing the THC drinks, but maybe the liquor companies aren't really benefiting from that.
Some are. Some have jumped on it. Like when I went to San Diego last year, PBR had their own THC drink, and it was potent. Because
that's what they should do.
It was a fun time.
That's what they should do instead of being against it, because people drink less alcohol when they have THC drinking options. And
yeah, but some people have never tried THC drinks and end up in a new situation.
Well, some people have never tried liquor and end up in a new situation. Same thing. I find that this is something that is common sense. Now, I'm vested because I do like THC drinks at night. I have about 5 milligrams to help me off into Sleepy Town.
Guy.
I like it. I enjoy it. And it absolutely positively helps me with sleep. Specifically, if there's a night where I'm not drinking at all and I want to go to bed, I can take a sleeping pill. I can take a lot of over-the-counter stuff that I have. But the THC, 5 milligrams in a drink, and I, within 30 minutes, will go off to Sleepy Town, which I like. But people have really, really been switching up for the first time ever. They've said, you know what, I think I'll drink a little less alcohol and I'll lean into this THC a little bit. It's nice.
And some of them are great.
Probably, like, don't get me wrong, THC, marijuana, and all varieties is going to have health issues that it causes with you. Smoking marijuana is not good for your body and bad for you in a million different ways. But THC in a drink, although we have limited data so far, is probably much easier for your organs to deal with than grain alcohol or any kind of alcohol that you're ingesting in your body.
You both do it often. You still getting same acid reflux that you would find in drinking a bunch of booze?
I only get that from whiskey. Like the only thing that and I have so much hot sauce and sriracha and all these things in my diet. I don't seem to get it from anything else other than just whiskey.
I don't know. I just take Nexium every day, so I don't really notice what does it for me or doesn't do it for me unless
you don't have
I miss a couple days and then things start to get
acid throat,
wishy-washy. Yeah, or just
I like
or
this
just puke
idea.
time.
I'm still just so confused as to how this works because a lot of those in the beginning were Delta 9. And Delta 9 is a strain, but it wasn't your THC. But as of late, these recent products are THC. Florida, for example, it's not recreational marijuana, it's medical marijuana.
Right.
But you are finding products with THC in it. So what does that mean? What's the loophole, or am I missing something?
The loophole is in the Farm Bill, but
the loophole is about to be closed.
Yeah,
in 8-9 months or whatever because of the last financial shutdown. But maybe they'll revisit that. This will not be sold. These THC infused drinks. I haven't tried these brands. Senorita and Rhythm are the two brands that they're going to sell. It will not be sold during Chicago Bulls or Chicago Blackhawks games at the United Center. But this one
that might be an
the first
NBA
to
rule. Like that might be league rules.
It could be.
That's
or,
a good
or
way
I
to
thought,
bring people to the WNBA games.
Or I thought right off the jump, it could very well be that because they have big official liquor sponsors at these things,
That
like
too.
the Bulls and the Blackhawks, they may say like, we don't want that. Don't let them in because they are fighting it. I'm telling you, every chance they can get, they're fighting that off. Okay, let's see. Before I get to a couple emails, I want to tell you about this family that was snowed in and they're worried just about as much as that woman who I started the show with yesterday. This woman who was getting her kid ready, allegedly, for the winter storm by making him think he was going to die at any moment and putting his phone number on a sticker on his arm, setting him up with a debit card with a pin and hundreds of dollars in cash, putting an air tag on a bracelet on him, making him sleep in the closet for the winter storm. This family says they've got their own problems. Camaray Broadus said that they were frustrated about the lack of snow removal on her particular street and her family's street. And what she says happened when she called 311. She says she's been waiting for a snowplow or salt truck to show up, but so far nothing. She's stuck in her house.
What?
She said, we are stuck in our house and they won't let us out. There's so much snow around us that we can't go anywhere. She hasn't been able to get to work in 3 days. She's missing critical wages she relies on, she says. And she says, sometimes I have to call 911 to assist me to the hospital, but they wouldn't even be able to bring me if I called them right now. And she says, they should have been prepared. They should have been more prepared. What about you, though? Shouldn't you have been more prepared? Shouldn't you have been
What should she have
ready?
done?
Yeah, but if you get like 8 feet of snow, how prepared can an individual civilian be?
It's her and her family. So some other, it doesn't say who lives with her, but she's saying that the city is not bailing her out. She's fearing that she's snowed in and an ambulance wouldn't be able to get her out of there. Is this it? I think this might be her situation.
Our Team 11 coverage.
Sorry, hey,
continues
okay.
with Amy Hudak in the city's North Homewood
Is this the lady?
neighborhood with her growing concern.
Well, we came out to try to interview that family who lives on
But
a
we
street just
can't?
off
You
of the
can't get to her.
snow-covered
What?
road behind me. Our car,
that's
which
bad.
is really good in the snow and four-wheel drive.
So it's not too far off the grid because as you can see, there's stoplights here.
Yeah.
Again, you can watch the show on YouTube, youtube.com/thenewsjunkie.
Everything starts to disappear as you go up that hill.
There's stoplights and there's businesses, at least just from glancing at this. But when you go forward up this hill, there's an entire hill that has not been cleared of snow. And this family is like, we're so snowed in, we can't even do the interview with you.
Even got stuck. So we had no choice but to do a Zoom interview with her.
I said, you know what? When I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to call the news.
It is now the third day Camry Broaddus has been forced to call out of work. Missed wages for a single mom of 4 trying to pay the bills.
Single mom of 4?
I've been up all night, literally waiting for somebody to come up here.
So far, she says there has been no plow, no salt truck.
No plow, no salt truck. She's like, where are they? They should have planned better. They should have helped me out. I want exclusively Northerners commenting on this. Is this normal? Is it normal for somebody who's got like snow happening around their neighborhood to be like, I've been let down by the city, the state, whatever. They have let me down. Or is it the onus is on you to be ready for a snowstorm? And if your street's not clear, you have to figure out other ways to get the places you need to get. Like, what is protocol for people who live in states where they constantly are snowed in like this? Is this lady out of line, or does it make sense that she's blaming somebody else for her not being able to get to work with the snow? I'd love to hear from you. Tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. Bootsy says, is there a state of emergency? Sealand, see if there's any state of emergency in Pittsburgh, because that's where she is. And she says she can't get any help.
Her street, which we couldn't even get to, hasn't been touched. Her car buried under all that snow.
She's in the snow.
When she called 311.
I have a Wilkinsburg
There is?
code.
Yeah, it says from triblive.com, Pittsburgh declares state of emergency as dozens of snowplows break down.
Even the snowplows are broken down. So that, like, if that's the case, if it's the case that the snowplows are broken down and they can't, the city and state are like, they're doing everything they can. It's been a very bad snowstorm. It's an emergency, right? They're doing everything they can to get everybody to be able to get out of their homes and stuff. You got to fend for yourself for a hot second until they figure this out. But if you have an employer, they really should be chill about that. Like, your employer should be like, okay, I get it. I understand. I don't think you're making this up. You've been on the news now. If you can't get your car off your street because the snowplows are stuck, I mean, you can't snowplow the entire road yourself to get your car out of there. It's not really realistic to think about that in that way. At least I don't think so. But, yeah, I mean, that makes a bit more sense. Let's see what else she said.
Wilkinsburg, I'm still considered the city. They told me that I needed to call Wilkinsburg and talk to them. So that's what I did. And when they looked at my address, they told me that I was a part of the city to call 311 back.
So they're passing the buck back and forth. It's your fault. It's your fault. You're this city, this city, this city. She can't get to work. I feel like in that case, your employer should be chill. I really think they should be good with it. La Hava Rasta on Twitch says the employer being okay with it is not the same as replacing lost wages. Well, that's kind of what I mean. That's what I'm packing that into it. If you're an employer and you know that your employees are paycheck to paycheck, you know that they're like hourly wage employees that would really rely on something like this, I think this is where you could step up. You don't have to.
I wonder what their laws are, though. I mean, do they have the same? I know in Florida that it's a right to work. They could fire you and don't have to really have a reason necessarily.
They didn't fire her yet. She didn't say that they fired her.
But I wonder, though, if there's anything legally that she has that has her back, or the other way around, where they could, or they don't owe her any wages. Put
that on the Mo list, Sealand. See what he says about this.
Under federal law, employers are not required to excuse absences due to weather, even during a declared state of emergency. Acts of God or weather events do not by themselves create protected leave. An employer can generally mark an absence as unexcused, require the use of PTO, discipline the employee, or terminate employment in at-will states, which I guess it says this surprises a lot of people, but it's the baseline. When an employer might legally be obligated to excuse it depends on state or local laws, employment contracts or union agreements, or exempt versus not exempt pay rules.
Oh, damn. Insecure Walrus on YouTube says, I'm really thankful I work from home and I had somewhere to go since we are 4 days without power now.
How was that? Because we've experienced without power when it comes to hurricanes, and it's hot.
Yeah.
What is it like in a snowstorm.
Chilly.
Negative,
at least when
yes.
if
Good
it's just
answer.
hot and you have no power, at least if it's just hot with no power, you could go outside and kind of wander around and maybe find a friend with some power or a generator. But
It's
when
like
it's
you
cold,
build a fire outside, right? Because anywhere else.
when it's cold, everything, in my experience, everything shuts down. Now, I don't have experience living in the suburbs and like trying to commute to work, and so I don't know what that's like. I don't know if you're expected to go in and how employers usually handle that. I just got up every day because I lived in the middle of the city, and snow or whatever, I just walked or got on the L to go to work, and I didn't miss a day ever because of weather like that. But you can't do that if you live in the suburbs. You need your vehicle, and you need your vehicle to be able to get out of the streets. And if the snowplows are stuck, well, then you're S out of luck, I would think.
Now, when I was little and my dad traveled a lot for work, I assume based on what he did, like I don't know much about what my dad did, but it was the same thing your dad did, I think, Sean. And
procurement or something?
He asset management.
Yeah.
And he would travel for work, and occasionally he would get snowed in, and he couldn't come home for an extra day or two, maybe even more. And I didn't, young mind here, did not have a grasp on what snowed in meant. I thought it literally meant that the snow got so high that you could not open the front door, which seems, now that I think about that scenario, seems like you would just be living in a refrigerator.
You thought like you'd open your door and there's just be a door of snow.
Yeah,
there.
I thought he was snowed in, like you couldn't open the door because the snow was so high. Like
I think it happens every once in a while. I think that's less common.
But like I didn't realize this was more of an infrastructure term as far as getting a snowplow to clear the road so that you could get a vehicle in and out of these situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This lady is stuck. She's saying she's stuck. We'll see what you think about it. Send us your dispatches, your emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
As far as being stuck without power, I would assume that a lot of these places have fireplaces, right? I mean, just after a certain, longitude line wouldn't allow, unless you're in an apartment, and I get that.
Many do. In places where it snows, it's much more common to have a fireplace in most houses or to have some heat in your house.
I have a fireplace and it doesn't snow.
and not to have a air conditioner, not to have like a whole home OC. Like if you go to Vermont, I don't know. I would guess. Let me guess. Sealand, fact check. I would guess in Vermont, 25% of the homes have air conditioning, as in like make your home cold air conditioning. That might be
West
outdated
Coast too, right?
I haven't gone there for so long that it might be completely outdated where my brain is at that.
I can't imagine not having air conditioning.
I can't either. In the southeastern United States, you should have to have it. It just keeps you alive, for God's sakes, when it's so hot outside. But
this is a little high, so this might be including heating equipment. It says of the 67% of homes with AC in Vermont, about 7% use central air conditioning units, while 60% rely on individual units such as window units.
Yeah. So they're using window units in their house, which is probably more commonly used for the heat elements of them. And then what I mean is to say, people don't have, like in Florida, for those of you who have lived somewhere else for your whole life, almost all houses, the vast majority of houses have a full home air conditioner, a full home AC with vents throughout the house. Smaller places, apartments, etc., will end up having some sort of like window-based unit in a lot of cases.
Got them all.
But a lot of houses will have full.
I've got
full
both,
AC.
and I have before ACs were a thing, was that vent that is on your ceiling, but you have to have all the windows up in order to have the feeling of cool air coming through.
Give you like a draft, draft coming through.
If not, the pressure would blow up all the windows.
Well, quick break. When we come back, we've got the emails that I meant to get to. They're right here. A beloved television show. You thought it was over forever. It's back. What's happening? Then we'll get to updates about Minnesota and everything else. And the Alex Preddy report has come out. What does the official report say? It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Sure, AI can mimic emotions, but it'll never understand the primal rage of spilling hot coffee on yourself while on air. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a crash blocking the right lane on Orange Blossom Trail southbound at Washington Street. The traffic lights are still not working on New York Avenue, State Road 44 at I-95. Use that intersection as a four-way stop. Other than that, you won't be running into too much trouble on the major roadways. Traffic is up to speed. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Refresh your bathroom with big savings at Lowe's. Reimagine your bathroom and get up to 40% off select faucets during Lowe's Bath Savings event and transform your space. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
Hey, friend, hanging out with us today on a chilly day, I see, and it's going to get colder. We are headed into a frosty weekend that, shockingly, for maybe a couple of people in Central Florida, could, if all things come together, have a little dusting of snow for you. And that's crazy. And you might be saying, enough's enough. I got to turn on the heater. If your heater isn't working, if it smells funny, if something has gone wrong, you can dial your friends over at Mills Air. Mills Air is ready for you, and they will be out to your house before you know it. Like that, with a tech that knows ACs, heaters, and everything else inside and out. And they'll get you fixed up and ready to go before you could imagine. You'll be in good shape with Mills Air. 407-277-1159. That's the number. You got a problem with them? You want to get your AC rolling? You want to get the heat working? 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Facing an injury is tough, but choosing the right attorney shouldn't be. I'm Mo DeWitt, your Orlando injury attorney. With my zero-fee guarantee, you won't pay a single dime unless we get you money for your injuries. No hidden costs, no upfront fees, just dead.
Hello. Chad, I got a question for you. And we'll get back into the nitty-gritty, controversial, all that good stuff. We'll get updates on Ilhan Omar, Syringe Gate. We'll see what's happening. Promise you big updates on that case. We'll continue the rundown. But I have a question for you. How many of you think Bert Kreischer is funny? Bert Kreischer. I'm not going to say controversial. And I don't even know if I'd say comedian, because I think he's just like a funny guy who does things. But there's the Bert Kreischer backlash has been a real thing for years. People think that he's far too self-centered. The podcasts that he's been involved in have suffered audience fracturing. People getting very upset about him and how he ruins stories and stuff. There's a lot of Bert Kreischer hate. A lot of Bert Kreischer hate. People are saying, who's that? It's the guy who did the story about getting drunk with the Russian mafia, went viral and launched an entire career off it, which good for him. He's a hard worker. Now, I'm not a fan of Bert Kreischer, really. I can't tell you the funny thing that I heard Bert Kreischer say. I also don't have a problem with Bert Kreischer. However, his new Netflix show is something that I heard about, and I would probably never watch. Okay? Not really a fan. Don't think he's particularly funny. Think the show looks kind of dopey. However, I saw somebody talking about a scene in Bert Kreischer's new Netflix show. And tell me if you like the idea of this scene. Apparently in this scene on Bert Kreischer's new show on Netflix, he pulls a Miss Doubtfire because he comes to the strip club with his business buddies from the office that are all kind of like a little uptight and they're a little bit like strict about what they're doing, but you know they came to the strip club with his business buddies, and then he sees his black friends across the strip club partying, and Bert Kreischer pulls a Miss Doubtfire by secretly going back and forth between the two groups in the strip club. And I got to admit, that's kind of a fun idea. I have to admit, that's kind of a fun idea. Yes, lots of kids cursing. Is it the show where he takes off his shirt? I think that's kind of a frequent thing with him. So I don't know if he came up with that bit, but the idea to do a Miss Doubtfire between two very different groups of your friends, like uptight business friends and like fun crazy friends, fun idea. Whoever came up with that. Chaos, I'm coming over to you at the strip club, buddy, but only halfway. I'm only halfway coming over to you. You know what I mean? All right, we're coming back. Copyright, copyright, copyright.
Weezer, No Doubt, and more with commercial free weekend. Your favorite era, just a tap away. Open the free iHeartRadio app and listen now.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Happy, Happy. Happy. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Forever hovering over life's great dump button. You're listening to the
As per usual, thanks for hanging out with us in the world's most viral newsroom. The three best friends you never knew you had going through the most viral stories of the day. Learn more at thenewsjunkie.com. I had to do the weirdest thing to C-Lane after the show yesterday. It was
what?
I was uncomfortable.
So was I, buddy.
It was a weird thing.
People
and then
paid a lot of money for that, you know.
I forgot to explain it to him, Sabrina, before I did it. I just did it. And then afterwards I was like, oh my God. He's going to wonder what I'm doing right now.
And I did not know exactly what you did until this morning, listening to the Monsters on the way in.
Sounding very familiar.
And I heard Ryan mention what this thing was.
Okay.
Did you do that?
I was reading some news stories, doing some show prep after the show to kind of get a first round ready for the next day. And there's lots of stories about how people are mad at TikTok censoring us. And TikTok's like, guys, we're having a major outage at one of our biggest data centers right now.
Facebook,
right?
Instagram,
Use one of the other
Twitter,
platforms,
y'all
okay? We're not trying to hide what's going on in Israel or, you know, whatever you think. Like, they're trying to shut down the ICE discussion. For God's sake, like this website has been and this app has been a fire hose for activism for a long, long time since it's existed. It's melted so many brains of like 30 somethings of millennials that you couldn't even imagine because of the algorithm on TikTok and on most of these social platforms. It's a data issue, a data center issue that TikTok has been struggling with.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Mm-hmm. And it's not Larry Ellison going, we're not going to let them talk about it anymore. Go to another platform. So people have been fighting over this. And one of the things that they came up with, because all of TikTok is basically people finding something weird and pointing at their screen with like a green screen feature and going, well, why would this happen? It must have been the Jews. All of it is like all like conspiracy crazy. Have you ever frozen the movie at this particular frame and seen everything is like that? It's like the whole of all the algorithms right now. And TikTok said, or the folks on TikTok were like, they're censoring us. They're shutting us down. You know how I know? Because you can't DM anybody the word Epstein anymore.
What?
And I thought to myself immediately, like, you have to be a pretty dumb person.
So Sean said, you know how I'm going to test this without any context, any backstory.
I didn't tell C-Lane anything about this. I go up on TikTok and I'm like, who can I message this with the least amount of friction? And I pull up C-Lane's account and I just put Epstein, like every way I could do it. All caps Epstein, lowercase Epstein, capital E, every way you could possibly do it. I typed it in a direct message to C-Lane with no context, nothing whatsoever. And I hit send, and they all sent. They all seemed to send. You got them, right, C-Lane?
Yeah.
You got it, all right. No context, no nothing. To him, it just looked like I sent a bunch of messages that all said Epstein all at the same time. And they went through. And I thought, of course they did. What way is it if you bought a platform and you wanted to censor people? Why would you censor DMs, which are one-to-one? You don't care what somebody DMs another person on your platform? That's how you would censor stuff. You censor stuff with the algorithm writ large, right? Like if you can say everything that's about this, there's my messages.
They're a little blurry. They're not really showing up, but there's the three Epsteins.
Epstein over and over and over. And it came through, and it's like, yeah, they wouldn't. Censoring via DM is like the dumbest way that you would ever do this if you're going to try to stop conversation on a topic on a platform.
The last thing you sent me was in April of last year, and it was some video about ear cleaning.
That's all you get. Ear cleaning.
And did it work?
That's all you got. That went through.
It looks pretty gnarly. It's wow, that looks cool. Now I'm upset that I never watched this.
See, you got to pay attention.
It's a pretty good video.
I'm hitting you with the good stuff in the DMs. That's what I'm doing. So for some people, it's a horror story, but it looks like it's just a technical issue that they're sorting out over on TikTok. You're going to be okay.
Have you figured out where your drafts are? Because since this update and since the, selling to Oracle.
I haven't even been on TikTok since any of that.
I mean, I had a good 100 drafts.
All right.
And I can't stop watching this ear cleaning video.
Cannot find where they are, and I don't know if this is a thing that's like, you did it this time, Oracle, or I am just missing the spot that it's at. But I had some good stuff in there. Ready to be released to the people, right? It's usually on your profile.
I attempted to make a post, and I was looking for drafts. And whilst doing that, I did see that it said, "Do you want to go into practice mode?" Which,
excuse me?
I don't know. You practicing TikTok? It's like, well, go over here in practice mode. You post some things on TikTok, and afterwards it's like, well, you should have kept that one in drafts. I don't see it, but I'm sure it's there somewhere. It's got to be there somewhere.
Speaking of ear cleaning, I had to. I'm good. I'm getting somewhere with this. I promise.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I had to do it.
Homeboy is obsessed with ear cleaning.
Because I had to do it semi-often. I had to do it the other morning. And
you should be doing it every day.
And I would no, like the fluid, yeah. And I did it, and I sometimes I can't tell like if it feels better if I don't see stuff. Like when you're doing this, you want to see stuff. I want like a good
chunk of wax.
Spitwad sized chunk of earwax, like through a straw, like you would do through a straw when you're blowing a spitwad at somebody.
All right.
And I just didn't see it, and I was like, all right, I don't know, maybe that worked, maybe that didn't work, and I hopped in the shower. And I was looking, and I looked, and on my hand, I thought maybe it just fell out of my ear onto me. There was a dead ladybug. And I thought...
That's good luck still, or what?
I don't know. If it crawls into your ear and dies, I don't know if it's still the same amount of good luck.
Was that really from your ear?
No, it wasn't. But
Did you take a picture of it?
No, I didn't. I was in the shower. I didn't have my phone.
So we ate it.
And I got rid of it. And I told my wife, I was like, hey, I just cleaned out my ear, and I didn't think anything happened, but then I saw this dead ladybug on my hand in the shower, and I think that's what came out of my ear. She goes, oh, the shower ladybug? That's been in there forever. That's my good luck ladybug. I was like, you've been keeping a dead ladybug in our shower?
A match made in heaven.
For good luck.
Your wife has a free-range ladybug?
A dead ladybug.
Grossed out, but instead, I've been saving that dead ladybug.
So I saw this ladybug on my hand. She goes, the one from the shower?
How could you?
It's been there. I've been saving it.
And kill another ladybug so your wife can shower in happiness.
She says she's been leaving this dead ladybug there for good luck. And I go, what if I didn't wake up this morning? What would you do with me?
Emails coming in. Tina emails the show. It says, so I'm listening to Friday's podcast, and I got to the point where you were talking about your frustration with commercials in the podcast being placed at odd times. In the middle of your rant, bam! Stupid commercial plays not just once, but the same commercial plays twice in a row. And I love the show, says Tina.
My mother had the same experience with Friday's podcast.
Yeah, I think it's been good so far. I've been quadruple checking. I think I'm being gaslit into thinking that this is just, for some reason, I wasn't posting the commercials in the right spot because I was posting them every day, always the same way, and then constantly having problems. But in the last 2 days, I've been videotaping my results and then posting them afterwards, and it seems like it's saving right, and it seems like everything's fine. But if it keeps happening to you with shows this week, do email me, tipstothenewsjunkie.com.
Do you have this experience as somebody who's like technical and knows how to fix stuff? When people go to you to fix their thing that's broken and you try it and it works, do you have that experience where like you go to fix it? Like, I'm gonna by the end of this process, this is gonna be all good for you, and you just turn it on and it works fine, and they're flabbergasted. It happens to me all the time.
You're like a hero, don't you?
So now that you have brought up these problems with the podcast, and you're like, "See, this is the problem." Oh no, it's working. This is the problem. Oh no, now it's working.
Oh, this is that dead ladybug in the shower.
It's happened to me before. Like, Courtney will be on her computer upstairs, and she'll go, the Chrome browser doesn't launch when I click it. And then I'll go in there, and it'll launch, and then she'll go, well, I was doing everything. And I'll be like, oh, look, cutie, here's what you got to do. You got to take the mouse, and you got to bring it over here, and click on the Chrome icon.
Yeah, easy peasy.
And I will absolutely do that. But
see you and Reza. Oh, my God, the toilet's overflowing. Oh, my God. And I go, back up, babe. And I plunged it, 2-3 pumps. Don't put wipes down the toilet.
Next time.
See you later.
Yeah.
Enjoy your number 1 or number 2.
Yeah. See you later. Oh, this was in the middle of it?
I don't know. I didn't ask questions. I just felt pretty good about it not overflowing and having to call maintenance.
Neil emails the show, tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. Hey, I was listening to you guys talking about the Fourth Amendment and entering homes. This is in relation to the ICE stuff. He says, I'm pretty sure illegal immigrants are not entitled to any protections under the Constitution. Those rights are for American citizens, he says. Thanks, Neil. No, most of the protections, if not all the protections in the Constitution, also protect people here illegally. So, like, an illegal immigrant would still have the right to free speech in the United States of America. Now, there could be limitations because you're not a legal citizen and you're not here legally. There are a lot of things that you get hung up on, but you still would have the right to a Fourth Amendment, meaning like you can't just illegally search and seize anything. You have to have a warrant if you want to enter somebody's house and they're not willing to let you. So
you can own property?
If you're an illegal immigrant, I think it depends on where you live. I think in a lot of cases it would depend on where you live. In some cases, you could do everything you could imagine. In some cases, you can get a CDL and drive a commercial vehicle if you want to. And they've tried to curb that since they've had some pretty horrific accidents afterwards. But in other places, the rules are different. All right, quick break. When we come back, we got jury duty coming up, including a healthcare employee that's in really big trouble. We'll see what this woman did and see if you agree with her being in trouble. And a whole lot more on the way. Updates on Ilhan Omar getting squirted with a syringe. We know a little bit more now. The new details coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is Chris Broussard. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Discover.
ESPN's Tim McMahon reports there's apparent tension between Magic coach Jamal Mosley and star Paolo Banchero. Orlando visits Miami tonight. In college hoops action, it's number 21 Florida trying to get back in the win column there at South Carolina, while Florida State, they entertain Cal. And college basketball's longest winning streak is over after Nebraska's 24-game heater was stopped by Michigan Tuesday. I'm Scott Davidson.
Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Great news, my friends. That mortgage guy, Don, offers HELOCs. That's right, home equity lines of credit. A way to unlock your equity while keeping your super low 2%, 3%, or 4% rate intact on the first mortgage. Get cash out for home improvements, debt consolidation, weddings, back taxes, a space heater, anything you want. And unlike the corner banks, that mortgage guy Don has HELOC options as low as a 640 credit score. So what are you waiting for? Get a quote with no hard credit inquiry. And most importantly, work with an expert and a friend that you could trust. Work with That Mortgage Guy Don and get peace of mind right there at your fingertips by going to thatmortgageguydawn.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote.
Stand by. Stand back and stand by.
And maintenance included. I love my solar panels. They've been saving me money for years. Now you can get on board with solar and save up to 40% on your power bill immediately. And you can get exclusive savings when you tell them Jack from Real Radio sent you. Visit solar.
Stand back and stand by.
Monsters, or call now and lock in your rate before energy prices rise.
Out here, if you're doing nothing, you're doing everything right. Though on a cruise with Norwegian, even if you're doing nothing, you're still basking in the warm sun, enjoying the peace.
All right, folks.
Breathing. Don't forget about breathing. Definitely need to breathe.
Stand by.
You get to do nothing or everything.
Some breaking news coming in.
It's like really important.
When we come back, I've got a big update on Ilhan, Omar, and Syringe Gate. We now know what was in the syringe. We know what was in the syringe. We do know. And I'll fill you in on that now. Let me check the stream. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking pretty level. We're looking pretty good. So that big update in Syringe Gate with Ilhan Omar coming up next. She says she's a survivor. What did she survive? We're going to find out. And this healthcare employee who has been fired, I don't know if you guys have seen this story, this healthcare employee was creating videos for social media where she was advising people to inject ICE officers with something that would paralyze them, and advising them ways that medical workers could enact revenge on ICE workers and their supporters. This woman was fired for doing this. What do we think about these medical workers that are getting so hyper-political about things like this? Obviously, it would be ideal if all people in the healthcare industry stayed out of this kind of insanity, but in a way, I think it's good. I like that this woman came out and showed how bonkers she is on these videos, because otherwise she might be doing that stuff in silence. And that's not great. F firing her, put that bitch in jail. Well, I agree if she actually did anything. You know, if she did anything even close to this, or if there's any evidence that you treated somebody based on their job or their politics or your dislike of their beliefs, if you, because of that, did something that harmed somebody, 1,000%, 1,000% that bitch should go to jail, and go to jail for a very long time. But if she just was making stupid TikToks and messing around with this, then her getting fired and hopefully never, ever, 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 ever working again in the healthcare industry is probably the outcome. Yeah, take her license away. I mean, if it comes down to something like that, I don't want people like this ever working in healthcare again. I don't know if they have an actual law that she's broken that they could put her in jail for. That's the problem. Hi, Marla. Marla, we got 90 seconds. Thank you, Tanya. We are crazy short-staffed in the medical field. Better to be even more short-staffed than have some unhinged lunatics who are talking about harming people based on their politics. We're not that short-staffed. You want to see short-staffed? Go to Canada. You want to see short-staffed? Go to England. They are far more short-staffed than we'll ever be, for obvious reasons. But I'd rather be 10 times more short-staffed and not have unhinged people who are threatening to harm people. So, sayonara, bitch. That's a bad one. Adios, medical muchacho. Sean, how can you argue with me when I'm in the medical field? I'm not arguing with you about there not being a shortage of like nurses or something. I'm saying I'd rather have a bigger shortage than have unhinged people willing to harm somebody. I think you would agree with that, right? Hope so.
Power outage? You're still rolling with Everdoor. Get $75 off a battery backup opener today. Don't let the dark shut you out. Everdoor keeps you moving. Visit everdoor.com, the garage door that lasts evermore.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Meet the three friends Bill Cosby called frat bros. This is the
corner and some pretty crazy stories there. Before that, I got a huge update for you. If you miss any of the show today, and I mean even just a moment, go back and subscribe to the podcast for free on iHeartRadio. You can find the links at thenewsjunkie.com. Big update coming in on the Ilhan Omar story. If you haven't heard about Syringegate here, it turned out that there was an event, a town hall in Minneapolis. And this went down yesterday, last evening. And when Ilhan Omar, who is a left-wing politician out of Minneapolis, was up giving her speech, somebody stepped towards her, said something. I don't know what. To me, it was unintelligible. I tried to listen to it a lot of times. Said something. This person said something and then squirted something out of a syringe that hit her on her outfit.
On one of the angles, the second angle that you played, I heard him say, "You need to resign," because she had just said somebody needs to resign or be impeached. And he said, "You need to resign."
The word didn't sound like resign to me, but I don't know. It could be wrong. He could have said that. I haven't seen any of the news articles quote what they think this guy said when he stood up. We only have the audio. I didn't quite hear that. I did hear him say something that to me was unintelligible. And then very quickly after he squirted this syringe, and quite a bit came out of the syringe.
Yeah,
honestly,
quite a distance too.
Yeah, I was surprised. I hate when these news web pages reload and they just decide to autoplay.
Middle of the night, walking down the street.
So when you have somebody with a syringe in their hand full of liquid, no needle, obviously. I didn't realize how well that could squirt stuff across the room, but it did. He squirted a lot of this stuff across the room. And then they apprehended this man. Her security got this guy pretty quick. She finished her speech and did her thing up there. Afterwards, there's been some attempts to try to pin down this guy's politics. Let me remind you, Minneapolis is a place that I believe, I looked it up earlier, 85% of the people in Minneapolis voted for Kamala Harris. All right. So, there's not as many bad guys, if that's what you're looking for, from the MAGA side in the woodwork in Minneapolis. The neighbor said that this guy had gotten to some sort of accident and that was on some type of medication, I think he said, for like pain, and he'd been a little bit weird.
Parkinson's is thrown in there.
He also said like he had Parkinson's at just 50-something years old, but who knows? These are just things that were thrown out. Now we do know something new, and that's what I like to bring you in terms of updates. So here we go. Forensics have determined the source of the liquid sprayed.
We know the source. It came from a syringe.
Ilhan Omar. Not the sources in the person, but the sources in what was in it. Here we go. Hours after the chaotic town hall where a man lunged at Representative Ilhan Omar and sprayed her with a liquid, forensic investigators have determined the substance likely used was apple cider vinegar.
Wow.
All right.
That's what it was. They said videos captured the man surging forward and spraying Omar with the substance. as she was speaking at the town hall event in Minneapolis.
I guess that's good in the sense of not poison.
He was arrested on third-degree assault charges. That's kind of interesting. Knowing that it's apple cider vinegar, I guess it still could be assault. You're not allowed to spray somebody with something. You're not allowed to do that. I wonder if she'll continue to call herself a survivor, considering she survived apple cider vinegar.
Was
now
she
that
referencing
information,
something else?
No, she said I don't think so. She said in her comment, I can bring it back up, but she said in her comment, that I'm a survivor, blah blah blah, referring to this incident. CNN confirmed with a law enforcement source on Wednesday that the substance was apple cider vinegar. She continued to speak after the attack, refusing requests from her team to pause and change her clothes. The congresswoman is okay. She doesn't let bullies, push her around, yada, yada, yada. Again, Trump's comments on this were, I think she might have sprayed herself, knowing her, but he's never even seen the video of her. Let me see if I can bring up her statement real quick.
She posted on X, I'm okay. I'm a survivor, so this small agitator isn't going to intimidate me from doing my work. I don't let bullies win.
Yeah.
So she might be saying surviving of things.
Yeah, maybe not. Then she didn't know what it was. But now that you know that this was apple cider vinegar, I would probably refrain from using survivor in the context of that being what you were hit with at this thing. Again, not suggesting that this wasn't bad and this guy shouldn't have done. This guy should have done any of this, but survivor seems a bit much if she's talking.
Very interesting, though, which also kind of reflects on his mental state.
Mm-hmm. That he put apple cider vinegar in there.
Yeah.
I wonder if he even knew, or like how out of it this guy was.
Was it the expensive kind with the mom thing?
The mother.
The mother.
Wait, well, we'll see. We'll see. We don't know much more about this. Ed says, "See, it was fake. It was fake." Well, this doesn't mean it was fake or that she was in on it. See, the thing I said early on where people were like, it's staged. This whole thing was staged. It was set up. Like, you might think she's really dumb. Let's say you think she's the dumbest elected official in the United States of America. Do you really think she's so dumb that she would stage this and then that there wouldn't be an investigation into the guy and then it would come back that she staged it and that there was a Jussie Smollett situation? Because that's it's a career ender for sure.
Well, he was that dumb. And his career's not doing really great.
That's true, but he did it all for himself to like push his career and stuff. Well, I mean, again, I guess there are some comparisons there, but I wouldn't think that she would do something so absolutely public if it was an orchestrated thing, staged, et cetera, et cetera. I think this was genuinely a mentally ill man who started thinking about going to her town hall event and told his neighbor about it, even told his neighbor, I forgot what the quote was, loosely, unless Ilhan could find out what the quote was, loosely he said to the neighbor something like, I might get in trouble. I might get arrested. I might get arrested at this event. And the neighbor was
never
like,
mind,
what?
I got it covered.
And then he said, never mind, I got it covered. I'm like he acted like he wasn't going to do this again.
No, I think he was asking the neighbor to walk his dog while he was going off doing this, and that's the part that he got covered.
Yes. Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, afterwards he said, don't worry about that. I got the dog thing settled. And the neighbor thought maybe he wasn't going to go to this town hall after all. A neighbor probably thought he was just a pretty strange guy, which he seems to be. So I think it's more that. I think you got a crazed man who sees people on TV and goes and does this at an event. And then everybody around it turns it into their own little political thing. Like people who hate her more are going to be like, she rigged the whole thing. It was all staged. And people that like her will be like, she's a victim. She's a survivor. And it just was a super weird incident, which is still playing out kind of.
I think in this case, I would hope that he has a mental thing going on, because if he doesn't, if he's of sound mind, which in the video footage we've seen, he does not look to be so. No, not at all. No. But if he was of sound mind, and that's what his big move was going to be, spraying apple cider vinegar, like the guys in Whale Wars on the South Park episode where they're like,
sticky cheese,
you stink now. Hey, we got you. You stink.
We'll see what else we learn about this guy. I still got to get to jury duty because there's a nurse that is in huge trouble for a social media post. We'll talk about that. I have the report, the actual report about the shooting a couple of days back in Minneapolis. Maybe we'll get some new information there. I got a lot of cool viral clips, and I didn't even tell you the show that is making a comeback. Everybody loved it, and they said, oh, no, it's gone forever. That leads things. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Wherever your plans take you on Super Sunday, you can take the big game with you. From the opening kickoff to the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy, Real Radio 104.1 is the home of Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 60.
It's the calm before the afternoon drive storm. You're not going to be running into too much trouble on the major roadways. No accidents tying you up or slowing you down. Although on I-4, some typical delays are starting to pile up. There's slowdowns getting through the city near that 408 ramp junction. Congestion on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
You can depend on Florida farmers. Our farm is where we live and work. It's where we raise our...
Don't say anything bad, Courtney. The microphone's on. Skull mic on. What's that?
I get 2 free bags from Total Wine a month.
They give you 2 bags every month at Total Wine?
So I figured I should just start collecting them.
I mean, these are great for presents.
They're nice, right?
Yeah, they're pretty good for presents. They just give them to you?
$4 each.
Oh. Did you get some THCs?
Yeah.
Okay. How much was it? $80.
I got the white claw for $75.
Unbelievable. Okay. Fine. You gonna spray me with apple cider vinegar?
No.
Did you hear that was what was in the syringe?
Yeah, someone on chat said that.
Did that?
Yeah.
I mean, it looked too dark to be pee.
Yeah.
If your pee is that dark,
It looked like apple cider.
even your pee is not that dark.
Oh my gosh.
Courtney has some of the darkest pee I've ever seen in my life. I call her Dark P. McGee.
You're being bullied.
I don't call her Dark P. McGee.
Lady.
Her pee's totally normal, just for the record.
Stop talking about my pee.
I'm just trying to collect. What? Why are you putting her in here? Speaking of Dark P. McGee.
Oh no.
What are you doing, Dark P. McGee? No, we're not doing no. Okay, one. Only because you look great. I'm throwing it out in the hallway.
Okay, lady, you ready?
Unless you guys want to see it. You guys want to see it? No, you can't have the whole thing. I'm trying to give you the ball, not the whole thing. Don't be greedy. There you go. Oh, I dropped it. Crunchy. Whoa! Don't have a panic attack. You're fine. Come on. Let's go.
Lay down.
Come on. Hey. I fixed you. I rebooted you.
Come on, buddy.
Come on, I rebooted you. Can you give me some spray? I have a dog. Come on. Oh, never mind. I got some right here.
Lay down.
Lady, get out of here. You think you're getting more than one cheese ball? Go!
Come on, sugar pie.
Go! All right. See you later, Dark P. McGee.
Stop.
Well, I'm not really Dark P.
You've
McGee.
never seen my pee before. Why?
I've probably seen it. Power Hour has arrived, everybody. Welcome in.
It's a game changer, and you're going to look better, you're going to lose weight, and remember, you get a combo of testosterone and a GLP-1. It will burn that belly fat, and you're going to
I hope that lady farts on your pillow.
GLP-1 medication.
How rude.
$99 value when you start testosterone therapy only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment today. Go to Red Mountain Weight Loss.
This household is madness. Cheese ball madness.
Keyword Red Mountain.
Wild and crazy. She's being so good. Give her more cheese balls. She had a little chonk on her. She never has chonk on her because she gets so much exercise and we treat her right. But she had a little extra chonk on her last time we went, and she had to go up to a bit of a larger heartworm pill. And now I think she's slimmed down a little bit more to like perfect weight. So she probably has to adjust. But I'm trying to limit the cheese balls. Trust me, she gets plenty of treats. She gets a little healthy cookie treat. We started giving her healthier ones because she's 7 now. She gets a healthy little cookie treat every single night. I make her do a little routine, and then she gets a healthy cookie treat. She's doing fine. But those are old ass cheese balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how good that is. Probably not great. She's a thick girl? Should I eat a donut that a vendor brought to my office? I mean, if you're a regular person, yes. If you're a me, no. Like if iHeart comes up and goes, Sean, somebody has delivered a bunch of handmade goods and some foods to the office. And I'm like, I don't know what I said that made these people mad. Sometimes people email me and they're so angry and I'm like, what the fuck is this person even mad about? And they like radicalized on the best kind of sandwich or something. I'm not eating anything that you people drop off for me, okay? You used to have weirdos bring out food to all kinds of events. I'm not eating your food. All right? I'm going to hang out with the normal people who are chill, and they aren't trying to shove food down my mouth. You're my people.
Their max strength and vaporized sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
Room, take a moment of your time, drop in, watch the stream, join the stream, people. Join the stream crew over on youtube.com/the news junkie. An awesome bunch of folks watching the show every day. You can watch the show live on YouTube or twitch.tv/the news junkie. And you can chat along with us like this person. Vicious on YouTube says, Sean, did you see that Publix is no longer the #1 grocery store in Florida anymore, despite Courtney's efforts? Well, Courtney does attempt to keep Publix in business for sure. I did see that. I think that report was hogwash and balderdash and horse hockey and poppycock. I do. I think that report was made by, there's a certain faction of people. Hockey. Sometimes these people also happen to be very political people, all right? It's a certain faction of people, and the Venn diagram of them being Redditors is fairly high, who hate Publix, okay? And they hate Publix, and so they push for all of this stuff. They don't have any pleasure shopping at Publix. They absolutely hate Publix, and they're very dopey people. And here's why. Okay, first of all, the grocery store that won allegedly and ousted my beloved Publix as the #1 grocery store in the state of Florida in particular was Trader Joe's. And Trader Joe's is fine for what it is. But what Trader Joe's is not is a traditional grocery store. It is a bit of a madhouse. It is some good deals on some things and a bunch of other stuff that you'll probably never buy again in your life.
Also, the sailor theme is very interesting. My little sister works for them, and the manager is not called manager. It is the top admiral or
Captain?
something like that.
Oh, top admiral?
Can I speak to something sailor?
Oh, weird.
It was fun.
So they do that. That's kind of strange. I agree. They also traditionally have their locations in places with tiny parking lots on purpose. This is the weirdest strategy to me. Trader Joe's, you're fine. I'm all about you. But Publix gets so much heat, and this is why I said yesterday, I was like, I got to defend Publix. I have to defend this company. Publix is still, I think, the biggest employee-owned company in the United States, or maybe the biggest in their vertical. The employees own the company. It is a place where a lot of you people, and to the Redditors in particular, who like, it's almost always about their political leanings, why they hate Publix, right? They demand that every single business pays their employees X amount of dollars, like a livable wage, X amount of dollars. Respect your employees. Pay them this much money. And then when a place does that, they pay their employees more money and they treat them right. Most people you talk to who work at Publix will say that they love it. I know somebody personally who was a close friend of mine growing up. When he was 16 years old, he started to work at Publix. As far as I know, he works at Publix right now and has climbed way up the food chain. This is a huge employee-owned company. He went from being a stock boy or something to being a big manager at Publix.
My uncle retired from Publix.
A lot of people have. You can do good over there. You could do well over there, I should say. Now, I'll also
in fact, I think he could have climbed higher up the food chain and just didn't want to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, you can keep that job for a while, and you can make more money and hop from gig to gig. Is it perfect? No. Are you going to find Publix employees that can complain about it? Yes, totally. But is it more expensive? It's a little more expensive. Yes, indeed. This is why you should BOGO shop or you're a dummy.
Oh, I love me BOGO.
But the fact of the matter is, not only does Publix generally treat their employees pretty well and pay them pretty well and keep a damn good staff on hand, but Publix is, from my experience, one of the only grocery stores I've ever been to that hires disabled people and will put them in public-facing positions and let them live their life, enjoy their job, pay them, treat them right.
Can't tip them.
Even though these are employees that are maybe not as desirable as others to some people because they're disabled. I do not see that at a lot of grocery stores. And so when I see a company that I think is doing a lot of things right, I'll be the only one who's not a weirdo, okay? I'll be the only one who's not a hypocrite. I'll be the only one who says, hey, I want them to be paid well. I want them to be treated right. I want them to hire all sorts of different people. And when they do it, if my Nabisco crackers cost a little bit more, I'll be fine with that at the end of the day. Or I'll just go shop at the other place that's cheaper and go, hey, glad Publix is around because they do that. So shouts out, Publix. You're still number one in my heart. The rest of them can kiss my ass.
Winn-Dixie just happened to be here. Welcome to the 1980s.
I grew up on Winn-Dixie. Love Winn-Dixie, but Winn-Dixie is just not as good of a shopping experience.
How dare you? It's nostalgic. Every time it comes to a holiday, I'm visiting my parents, something's missing. I go to that Winn-Dixie, and all of a sudden I'm like, I feel 8 years old again because they haven't changed the store since 1998.
What's the comparison on that? C-Lane, number running. How many Publixes versus how many Winn-Dixies?
All right.
How many is national, I thought.
Are they?
Or let's just say in Florida.
Yeah.
In Florida. Like, I would think Publix has far, far more locations than Winn-Dixie, but I might be wrong.
Winn-Dixie locations, you're correct, is about 340 to 350 locations. Florida historically holds the vast majority of Winn-Dixie stores. Real-time numbers have fluctuated due to the recent, like, Aldi picked them up, and then Aldi dropped them off, and Aldi converted some of them to Aldi before they dropped them off. There was a whole thing there. But
some changing of hands.
Around 350-ish Winn-Dixie stores. Publix in Florida has 800 to 900 stores throughout the state of Florida.
Some across the street from each other.
And then, yes, they are. And then as far as Trader Joe's, anybody want to make a guess?
I will go 200.
Sean.
201.
Okay.
Wow. You zigged. It was 27. There was 27 Trader Joe's.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
I thought way more.
They're usually in nice neighborhoods and stuff, and they're in like nice little shopping centers, but they don't have enough parking. And nothing against you. Trader Joe's, dig it. Do your thing. I love it. But there is a particular type of vitriol and hate for Publix as if they are these great corporate raiders, which is so dumb. It's so like, I demand some of you be a little smarter. We can agree to disagree, but I demand you try a little bit harder, okay? Cheers. Okay, let me get to this because
I do think that
before.
I've heard the political thing for a long time, and I don't know how much that really affects people. But the prices of groceries have been outstanding lately, and the people that I hear complain about Publix are mostly talking about the prices.
Sometimes people who complain about Publix prices, and folks who don't have a Publix around you, I'll move on to something else here in a second. Sometimes those people are what I would call dumb shoppers and not strategic at all. Because if you focus in on all the BOGO stuff, if you look at all the coupons that they have in the app, Courtney saves an astonishing amount of money when she goes, because she's smart about what she's picking up. She plans ahead a little bit, and does that stuff. Sometimes people walk in and they grab like the most sexy stuff that they see, and they're like, whoa, I want this, whoa. And then they check out and they go, $100? Well, what gives? It's like, it doesn't have to be that way. I think they are, generally speaking, a decent company that gets too much hate from a bunch of very political people. Anyhow, here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the news junkie.
I'm not even vested. You
sound vested.
Very vested.
Send me some Publix monies. Publix, I'll be your spokesperson over here. I'll do it. I'll do that for you. Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. He does not take a side in the Publix versus other shopping experiences.
He hasn't
battle.
tried their chicken parm yet.
He probably hasn't. Maybe he has. The Moses DeWitt experience, though, is a fantastic one. After you get in an accident, which is no good, make a smart move, which is good, by calling Mo DeWitt. 800 DeWitt Law, 800 DeWitt Law, 800 call Mo, 800 call Mo, or just call Mo.com. A healthcare employee is in big trouble. Let me bring this up because I saw the update on this morning. I thought this would be the outcome of this. I was like, dude, how dumb are some of these people? How dumb are some of these employees? This is a VCU health employee. That doesn't mean anything to me, but I imagine it does if you're in Virginia. VCU, Virginia something
Ultimate.
University. Look up VCU Health. That's the name of the company. VCU Health has fired an employee after a video went
Virginia
viral.
Commonwealth University.
Virginia Commonwealth. Okay, it's Virginia Commonwealth University. Okay, VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University Health, has fired an employee after a video went viral on social media showing the woman encouraging people to poison federal immigration agents. The employee of the video, and she had like her outfit on from work and stuff sometimes, was identified as Melinda Cook. VCU Health said the videos appear to have been posted by an individual confirmed to be an employee of our health system.
Melinda.
In the video, she encouraged people to carry needle syringes that contain a temporary paralysis drug as a deterrent against ICE agents. You unhinged lunatic. Cook also encouraged people to gather poison ivy, mix it with water, and put it into a water gun.
And just put that right on social media.
I didn't know that would work, but
Don't tell
I guess
that
it makes
guy
sense.
that was doing the apple cider vinegar.
They said gather poison ivy, mix it with water, put it into a water gun, aim for their faces or their hands.
I assume that if you should I say this? No. If you took the poison ivy and put it in a blender and filled it with water, you would probably come out with a solution that's not very pleasant to have spilled on you or squirted on you through a water gun.
I've never thought about it this way, but it probably would work. The single ladies, all the single ladies. The single ladies where these ICE guys are going have a chance to do something, not without risk, but they could help the cause, she said. The content of the videos is highly inappropriate and does not reflect the integrity or values of our health system, says VCU, and she's in trouble for this. I don't know if I have their exact statement or if I lost, if I lost that, but what happened there was a very dumb person who we're better off having out of the healthcare system is out because they lost their mind for a little bit. I don't want healthcare to be politicized like this in any way. And anytime somebody does that, I don't care what their cause is. If they suggest that we should treat anybody else in any different way, whether it's because of their religion, the color of their skin, their political ideology, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, if they suggest that they should get some sort of different treatment, that person should not be able to work in the medical field anymore. That is literally against what almost every medical provider and everybody I've ever met in like nursing or whatever has ever said.
Can I say that a little part of me is glad that this is how they were caught versus what is a little bit likely other medical professionals who don't make this a social media post and practice that internally. And God knows what has happened that the public does not know.
True, and I agree. Yeah, I was saying as much earlier when we were blabbing about this a little bit during one of the breaks. I was like, it's better that these people come out now and you find them this way than they secretly think all of this and then they just do it. And then you're like, oh my God. Do you know what this person was doing afterwards for all of these years? And if she did anything, there should be an investigation. If she did anything to any kind of patient that she came in contact with because of them having a different opinion on something than she did, then she should be arrested and charged. But if it was just hot mouthing and spouting off on social media, then take her out of the industry forever. Finally, let me get to this. Teased and delivered now. The first look images have arrived. It's a favorite television show people thought may be gone forever. It's back, baby. Ted Lasso is currently filming season 4. Woo! The new season follows Ted returning to Richmond for his biggest challenge yet. Yeah.
I thought he wasn't going to be in it.
Coaching a women's football team. It's releasing this summer on Apple TV. And good old, he's back and better than ever, our friend Ted Lasso, and he's now going to be working with a women's soccer team.
What's the actor's name, Sean?
In Virginia. Jason Sudeikis?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Points.
Jason Sudeikis. I love him in this character. I think it's so great. But
so I started rewatching it, and I remember loving it. I mean, I did love it. I still love it. There were some episodes
Sounds
where
like I don't
like,
love it anymore.
I couldn't introduce it. Like some people, if they were not part of the Ted Lasso train,
they didn't get it.
It's hard to convince them otherwise.
Oh, maybe you got to watch the first season in like order, because watching it like that, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm totally caught up though. Now that I think about it,
I will say that Ted Lasso,
the last season was so good.
If you're like me and like one of the ways you get into like the holiday season is watching holiday episodes of your favorite shows, Ted Lasso has one of the absolute greatest Christmas episodes of any show that I know.
Oh, I don't know.
Of any show that I watched and was a fan of. It was just really, Ashley and I can't watch it without tearing up. It's really sweet.
And they did such a great job with character development. Like, just it's the show's named after Ted Lasso, but by the end of it, you love all of them. And you know so much about even Beard, like the assistant coach.
Yeah, he's good too.
It was very quiet in the first season.
And I like the
By
arc
the end of it, I was hysterically crying with the story.
I like the arc of the guy who goes from being like, the water boy basically
Nate.
to like,
Nate. I'm curious how this is going to go, because it kind of left on a weird note with him, a cliffhanger, if you will.
Really? I wonder if they'll bring it back.
You have to catch up, Sean.
Ted Lasso Christmas episode is like in one of the mid seasons. I don't think it was the last season, but it was like Ted, obviously because his ex-wife and his kids are in America, he had to try to do this like Christmas over FaceTime where he just watches his kid open the presents, and then he's like hoping to like FaceTime Christmas with this kid all day, and he got the kid a drone and he wants to go play with it immediately, so he's all sad, and then the boss cheers him up. The boss's assistant, or the assistant for the team, like always invites the whole team for Christmas every year, and nobody ever shows up. And this year, the whole damn team shows up. It just fills you with all the feels.
Does this hit you harder now that you have your son Jackson? Is like,
I don't know.
Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
There's a drum.
I think that when you get in that position, sometimes it makes you tear up a little bit more about those things, like a real pussy. When we come back, we'll get to you. We'll get to your dispatches. We got updates. I got the report on that Minnesota Alex Preddy situation where he was killed by the ICE officers. They actually released the report. We'll see if there's anything there. I got tons of clips and a lot to get to in a short amount of time in our power hour on the show. The last hour coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Some typical delays are starting to pile up. There's slowdowns getting through the city near that 408 ramp junction.
Let me tell you something.
Congestion on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
The power hour has been on. I don't know what I was talking about.
676-8477 from the traffic center. I'm James Barnett.
The power hour has been on.
Is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's
Stand by.
and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease
Since
research.
we're staying in, I want to make some soup.
Okay.
I just need to get some olive oil and a couple veggies.
Okay.
Crohn's Colitis Foundation.
Do you need anything?
No, I'm good, thank you. I don't think I need anything.
Who you are, it's about showing
As long as I have all my stuff, my rice and my
I'll check on the rice.
Okay, thank you.
and dragging your feet on getting that New Year reset. Well, it's time. January is almost over. It's time to go to Hammer and Nails Grooming for Guys. It's not just your barbershop where you go in, you pick a chair, maybe you have a coupon, you never see that person again. It's total man care and a lounge design for guys. You get your haircut, beard, hot towel, all with a drink in your hand, full bar ready for you at Hammer and Nails. And there's locations across Central Florida. There's bound to be one close to you. They're offering the New Year reset. This is how you get it. You mentioned my name, C-Lane, in Real Radio 104.1. You'll get that complimentary signature upgrade on your first
I'm all out of love.
Become a member or book today.
I'm so lost without you.
Come as you are.
Sucking my balls. Suck on my ding dong.
America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you.
Is this still on?
ForThePeople.com for an office near you.
Stand by.
Put you up.
Show for a Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45.
Whoops.
Pick up these KT cigars at all the Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio.
So I didn't need
Yikes!
Ron, Leaf Filter trusted pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help.
Okay, all set for today. I learned, pal.
Schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30%.
You know, one discussion that we haven't gotten into that I'd like to throw out for you guys is I saw a lot of people, and even I myself was like, well, this seems strange. I think somebody mentioned this in chat yesterday. Said ICE is going to the Olympics in Italy? Well, why is that? Why is ICE going to the Olympics? It turns out that's a very normal thing. ICE, the Department of Homeland Security, and all the organizations tied to ICE, it's commonplace. They provide security for certain officials and do some investigations for big events like the Olympics, the Super Bowl, these sorts of things. They're not over there like providing strong arm security, but they provide resources. So it turns out it's not a strange thing. And under all the previous presidents, including some of the ones that you voted for, they still did this where they sent ICE contingencies to major events like the Olympics and the Super Bowl. So that's not new. All right? And then people were like, well, they're going to be at the Super Bowl and they're going to be rounding up the Mexicans. I think at some point in this whole kerfuffle, where people have gotten very, very, very emotionally invested in the ICE debate, which is fine and makes sense. There's people who have lost their lives in the midst of all of this. I get it. But I think some people have lost the plot a little bit. There are different organizations. How much time do we have?
The fact is, it's not just me that thinks he's great. The Home Builders Network has been nominated by the Orlando Weekly.
3 minutes. There are different organizations within ICE. HSI and ERO are the two big ones. And HSI is like a Homeland Security thing. And those are all ICE officers, but it's like Homeland Security investigation. They investigate child sex trafficking. They investigate human smuggling. They investigate all sorts of things that I think most people probably support. Like, even if people are out there saying, defund ICE or abolish ICE, which is one of the main calls, right? I think those people would probably not be on board with abolishing all of ICE because there's some things in there that are just agreeable to most human beings. Sex trafficking investigations and all of that stuff. But ERO is enforcement and removal operations. So our ICE conversations have gone to focus on just ERO, enforcement and removal operations, and not that there's a whole lot more to this. Not that a lot of the officers that people were screaming about, including the officers that killed this Preddy guy, were not even just ICE officers. It gets a little more complex language-wise. Weed Consumer says, still odd to see at the Olympics, but that's what I'm telling you, it's not. Do you know what's odd? And you know you feel like that's odd? Because you don't usually have an antagonistic media harping on the ICE issue and saying, ICE is going to the Olympics. And so it hasn't been as controversial and they haven't been hyping it up. And what they don't tell you in the articles about ICE going to the Olympics is that ICE goes to all of the Olympics. And it's not these guys who are out there banging on doors trying to get Mexicans arrested for being in this country illegally or whatever. I'm simplifying, but you get it.
So we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback.
I'm so out of love.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on a February 2025 Nielsen report.
And the winner of the iHeart Podcast Award is... You can decide who takes home the 2026 iHeart Podcast Awards podcast.
Yeah, Flats, what are you talking about? Who would be talking about this stuff? I should not talk about ICE or Trump. I should talk about all the biggest stories of the day that everybody's talking about. Like what? Like, Geez, I feel like they might be the things that I'm actually talking about right now. Come on.
Books, podcasts, and originals all in one easy app. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
The only show brave enough to admit we Google half this stuff. This is the news.
Because there's so much going on in the world of all things viral that to keep you up to speed, I really have to move. And that's what we're going to do right now. Missed it of the show, get the podcast and get all caught up at thenewsjunkie.com. Here we go. Let's do a grab bag segment. A couple of different things to hit at once. One is they have released this report from Minnesota and the incident where the Department of Homeland Security officers shot and killed this guy who was at this protest. They were agitators, whatever you want to call them. You can fight over that all day long. But this guy was out there actively engaged with the officers who were handling these immigration issues, and he was shot and killed by them. And now we finally have the actual report from them. This is interesting. This adds to the conversation. So let's get some facts in here, or at least let's get this report in here. The following statement pertains to an in custody death that occurred on Saturday, January 24th, 2026 in Minneapolis. This information is based on a preliminary review by U.S. Customs and Border Protection and several other organizations. They said on January 24th, 2026, the United States Border Patrol and their agents were doing enforcement actions at a couple of different streets. They said several civilians were in the area yelling and blowing whistles. They made several verbal requests for the civilians to stay on the sidewalks and out of the roadway. At approximately 9 a.m., a CBPO was confronted by two female civilians blowing whistles. The CBPO ordered the female civilians to move out of the roadway, and the female civilians did not move. The CBPO pushed them both away, and one of the females ran to a male, later identified as 37-year-old Alex Preddy, the U.S. citizen who was killed in this. The CBPO attempted to move the woman and Preddy out of the roadway. The woman and Preddy did not move. The CBPO deployed his Oleresin capsicum, a pepper spray, toward both Preddy and the woman. CBP personnel attempted to take him into custody. He resisted. During the struggle, one of the officers yelled, "He has a gun. He's got a gun," multiple times. Approximately 5 seconds later, an officer discharged his CBP-issued Glock 19 and a CBPO also discharged his Glock 47 at Preddy. So this is the first time they're saying that 2 different officers fired shots, okay? 2 different officers who were on the scene fired shots at this guy who ended up dying. After the shooting, a BPA advised he had possession of Preddy's firearm. The BPA subsequently cleared and secured his firearm in his vehicle.
After he had been shot.
Yeah, this is afterwards, after the shooting, because they said that it was fired out of 2 different officers' Glocks. They said after the shooting, a BPA advised he had possession of Preddy's firearm. The BPA subsequently cleared and secured the firearm in his vehicle. So they're saying he took possession of the gun from this situation. At approximately 9:02 p.m., or 9:02 a.m. rather, they cut his clothing and provided medical aid to him by placing chest seals on his wounds. At approximately 9:05 a.m., Minneapolis Fire Department Emergency Services arrived and assumed primary medical care for him. At approximately 9:14, they put him in an EMS ambulance and transported him to the hospital. At approximately 9:32, he was pronounced deceased. There is an autopsy that's being conducted, they said. Homeland Security Investigations is investigating the incident, and CPR-OPR-IOD is reviewing it. The Department of Homeland Security Office of Inspector General was notified. After this report was released, they now have basically suspended the officers involved while there's an investigation going on. So the 2 officers who fired these weapons, they were still working. They had just relocated them. They just put them in other places to work for DHS or ICE or whatever, and CBP. And they were continuing to work, but no longer. Now they are both suspended because of the investigation going on, and that's what they've released on this as of now. And what else do we have? That's basically the gist of it from Minnesota, other than sort of things seem to be relaxing a little bit. This is Tom Homan, who's the border czar under the Trump administration, who says, today I met with Governor Walz, Mayor Frey, and top law enforcement officials to discuss the issues on the ground in Minnesota. We all agree that we need to support our law enforcement officers and get criminals off the streets. While we don't agree on everything, these meetings were a productive starting point, and I look forward to more conversations with key stakeholders in the days ahead. I think even Governor Walz came out of this saying that Tom Homan is more professional, and I think he likes dealing with him more than either Kristi Noem or the other folks that he's been dealing with in the past couple of weeks in Minnesota. So that looks more like things are calming down a little bit. We'll see if there's any changes there. Meanwhile, the USPS, you guys know what that stands for. The
United States Postal Service.
That's correct. The United States Postal Service. A mail carrier is in trouble. I messaged this guy, but I don't know if I heard back. I'll have to check with him. But this guy works for the USPS and got suspended because he's been complaining about working in extreme conditions, which is kind of what you do, man. The Postal Service people, this is what their whole motto is, for God's sake. But he says he was suspended and threatened with termination after a Facebook post criticizing the extreme conditions fellow workers were put in during this winter storm that we've all been talking about and dealing with. And here was his complaint. He said, let me bring up the actual Facebook post. I hate when it's in a news story. I'd rather have the actual post itself. Here we go. Here is his actual post. Today, the United States Postal Service is operating under extreme and dangerous weather conditions. Carriers are driving from Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and surrounding areas, risking their lives. There's no plan, no direction, no safety-based leadership. Meanwhile, postal vehicles are buried under 2 to 3 feet of snow between every truck, snow in front of the truck, snow on top of the trucks. The snowstorm was known and forecasted days in advance, but he said there was no operational plan in place. This cannot continue. We need a better plan. We need safety-first decisions. This is him talking. Stay by the dump button because I don't...
Ready to dump?
Don't know if he's going to curse, but who knows? Let me full screen this sucker here just briefly. Here he is talking about this, filming himself.
I'm going to start this post off by saying I know I'm not the only one. I know we're not the only ones. I'm in the Cincinnati district.
They're snowed in.
Fairfield Post Office. We're buried in. I got here extra early to make sure I was here. And you can see that snowplows came in and just literally buried us in further. No trucks have been cleaned off. I mean, why aren't we hiring a professional company to come in and dig all these companies out? Instead, you have carriers out here doing extreme hard work to dig themselves out to get their trucks out. We have no mail. no parcels, no anything, no plan. Why isn't there a plan for a level 2, a level 3 snow emergency that the districts can hand out, that this is what you do in that situation? We have not.
I don't know what that means.
Sitting here with our hands tied.
I have no idea what level 2, level 3 snow emergency means, but he seems to be complaining because he's saying the vehicles are snowed in, and he's suggesting that there isn't like some sort of plan for them to operate by. His post on Facebook, Jason Thompson, has 732,000 views and a large discussion going on around it.
I know it's been many years, but it hasn't been that long, I guess. It's been in this century in which snow has been this bad, right? There are some protocol to it, is it? Or is this like such a new
I think it's
territory?
There's a lot
I don't think so at all.
There's a lot of areas where snow is not usually this bad. I think there's areas that are used to this amount of snow, and they probably have plans in place. I would think Cincinnati is far north enough that they might have some sort of contingency here, though.
Yeah, is that where he is? In Cincinnati, in Ohio, it says. So if he's from that area, snow is not new to you. You understand what this is like. And this is a particularly rough snowstorm for a lot of these parts, but I seriously doubt if he's been working with the Postal Service for a long time, it would be the first one that he's experiencing like this.
I do think it's got to be so annoying to show up in this sort of situation, and they're like, all right, good, the snowplow comes through, and it plows the road in front of you and just takes the snow and kind of shoves it all in your direction.
And then
the biggest problem with somebody complaining like this is, I don't know, what is his boss saying? If there's a boss that's like, I don't know, guys, fire that guy. What the hell?
My pay grade.
There should be a manager, a boss in control of the people at this branch of the Postal Service saying, here's the protocol, here's what we're doing, here's what we expect from you, here's our plan. If he's legit not getting that, then that sucks and that shouldn't be happening.
I know this might seem crass or harsh, but it just sounds like something that, I don't know, wouldn't it be just part of their job is dealing with the snow when they have this kind of thing?
Do you have the tools for that?
Well, let's toss it out to the folks who work at the USPS. If you work in the Postal Service, tell us what you think about this. Does this strike you as odd or unfair or anything like that? Meanwhile, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and, of course, today I learned to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Music Weekends, our classic alternative. Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 1.
Another cold one. We'll see temperatures starting off in the 30s this morning before eventually climbing into the upper 50s and low 60s for this afternoon. We'll see a high in Orlando today of around 60 degrees. We'll settle back into the 30s once again overnight tonight. And then looking ahead towards our Thursday, temperatures will be slightly better feeling with highs closer to the mid 60s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by SuperSure.
Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's
Hiya, pal. Skull mic is activated. We're behind the scenes on the show. This is what behind the scenes looks like. Whoa. And now it's time for you to rate the show. We do it at the end of each stream. Now is the time. 10 out of 10 is a real winner. An absolute badass platinum home run show. I put it in a wheelbarrow, I wheel it off to the News Junkie Hall of Fame, kick it in the front door, no notes. 1 out of 10 is Loserville. I really should hang up the headphones. The time has arrived. Put me out to the pasture. Rate the show. 10 out of 10 is the best. 1 out of 10 is the worst. What do you got? 8.2 Dark P. McGee's out of 10? 10 syringe squirts out of 10? 10? Hello? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. 6.9 out of 10. 7 out of 10. 8 horse cockies?
Custom formulated supplements and biotics
I think you mean hockeys, right? Hockeys? Hopefully. 8 survivors out of 10. God bless them all. 10, you didn't irritate me today. I thought I did, though. I thought I did. Maybe you're irritable. 10 out of 10 skips. Oh, we're not talking about the skips. I thought we were past that. 9 out of 10 lady reboots. 8.5, 9 out of 10 missing items in my bag from Publix. God bless. 10 sprays out of 10. It's not hockey? I thought it was horse hockey. Isn't that right? That's horse hockey. Bull hockey. 7.9 old men at the bar arguing over politics. True. 9 out of 10 repeats. 9 out of 10 repeats. 9 out of 10 repeats. I see what you did. Here's what we're doing on the way out.
You're doing everything right. Though on a cruise with Norwegian, even if you're doing
9 out of 10 repeats. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, did I break it? I think I broke it. I broke the streak. Goodbye, everybody. Why are we so delayed? I can't do the prank. God bless. Stay gold. See you next time. Don't forget, bonus stream unlocked Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Bonus stream unlocked Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Hit the video with a like or subscribe to show your appreciation right now. Here we go.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
It's time to take care of you. Who better to help you than the top voices in well-being on Audible? Kickstart your well-being journey with your first audiobook free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com/wellbeing.
If you want to buy or sell your home quickly, call Nick Lee. Download a free home buyer's guide at thenicklygroup.com.
No one's really sure what all C-Link's buttons actually do. This is the News Junk.
And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. Thanks for being with us here in the world's most viral newsroom. Don't forget, keep your ears peeled. More of those keywords headed your way. Why not take $1,000 from iHeartRadio, for God's sake? Good luck to you. We're back with the final dispatches, the stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. Let's go full circle on this. Courtney Caslin has sent in this to wrap things up. This is the visualization of what a bull versus horse hockey game would look like.
It looks awesome. And thank you, Courtney.
We had the old-fashioned clip where somebody on the show said, that's bull hockey. And then another clip that we started with today, I hadn't heard this before. The guy said, this is a bunch of horse hockey. And now we know what that whole battle looks like, thanks to the world of AI and Courtney.
Poppycock.
Thank you, Courtney, for sending that in. The whole thing is poppycock, truly. Courtney C., appreciate you. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. John emails the show. Sup, News Junkies? When I was just a little guy back in 1992 in upstate New York, we had gotten so much snow overnight that we couldn't open the screen door in order to get out of the house. So my dad sent me out the window in order to shovel the door out. I remember that year some of the snow drifts were taller than 6 feet. The walkways were like tunnels. So that's not too different from what Celia was actually picturing in his childhood.
Look at me go.
Anything else we need to get to? Hi, Sean. I don't know if you've seen the reports that the Orlando Magic have been losing all their games since Ghost performed last Wednesday at the Kia Center.
Okay, dude. Come on.
He said
How many
they
games
left
have they
their
had since Wednesday?
they left their satanic energy, and it's causing the Magic to lose anyway.
Were they winning prior to that? Love you, Magic.
Great show. Have a good day.
That's
Thank
so
you
funny.
for the email, Steve. That's good stuff. Okay, well, a couple of stories on the way out. Actually, I didn't do too many, if any, dispatches, so let's work in at least one on the way out.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Let's see what we have. Lots of people with lots of different opinions. I'm going to put in, let's go to laying down the law. Hello.
Hey, news junkies.
Hey.
Just wanted to give my opinion on the Publix situation.
Mm-hmm.
I did shop at Publix for probably the last 10 years. Tried going to Winn-Dixie.
Yeah.
It wasn't as nice of an experience, so I didn't mind paying a little bit more at Publix. But recent events that have driven grocery prices to ridiculous levels have forced me to seek out other venues.
Where are you
Yeah,
going?
the BOGOs are great, but a lot of times it's like highly processed foods, which we try not to eat. So sticking to the meat and the produce areas,
The
in
good stuff.
grocery stores, I'm finding Trader Joe's has pretty good produce at a decent price. I'm also finding Aldi now. And
That's a big one.
Yeah, Publix is still getting some of my business, but not all of my business because they are the most expensive.
Yeah, they're a little more expensive. They
Aldi
are.
stresses me out sometimes.
Aldi? Yeah,
Aldi
they do-
stresses me out.
From what I hear, they do have some of the best deals, though. I have to
They do.
give them that.
But just when you think you're going to get like a Slim Jim, they're like, here's the meat stick.
Mhm.
That kind of the same font.
Looks very similar. So instead of snapping into the Slim Jim, you're like slapping into the
Smange Dim.
Sim Bim. There's a better name.
Yeah, the Simbim.
Uh-huh.
Let's get out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky.
Back into the Slim Bim.
We call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned. All you Smimbims and street rats out there, junkies hanging out with us
Scoundrels.
today. Today I Learned for a Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. Today I Learned this guy.
Original gangster. Yeah.
LL Cool J? Ice Cube.
T is correct. Ice-T is currently the longest running male actor in U.S. primetime history for his role as Odafin Tutola?
Tutola.
Law & Order SVU, a role he's played since 2000. He is the longest
Barely
running
been in this last season, though.
male actor in primetime TV. That's crazy. Yeah, he didn't seem like much of an actor right off the jump.
He's been acting the
Ice-T.
same way for years.
He's kind of got one speed.
He's like, I got a
but
gay son, so what?
He always seems kind of cool, so I dig him.
Both
Let's
the
move over to
Ices
this.
do seem kind of cool.
Today I learned this band right here.
T and Cube.
I want you to come back.
Water supply. Oxygen supply.
Air Supply.
Air Supply is correct. Graham Russell of the band Air Supply
Your cues are.
was a left-handed guitarist who played his instrument upside down like Jimi Hendrix.
Freak.
They said instead of restringing the right-handed guitars backwards to compensate as some did, he just did it like Hendrix did and still does to this day. if
But
he's
Dave
alive.
Wakeling did when he came in.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place.